Commencing countdown T minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition.
And we're live! Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to Save or Dice. How are all of you wonderful people doing this evening? I hope you guys are ready to watch some people and characters die and be brutally murdered, as well they should be. Of course, my name is Cody with Taking 20. I have some beautiful, incredible, wonderful, sexy, amazing, talented people here with us this evening. We have Guy SCLANDERS from How to Be a Great GM, aka the Fat Goblin. We have David FRIANT of Nerdarchy fame, Lauren B, aka Miss Jinja Ninja in the house. Playing Domino is Michael Hunt with an unfortunate name. I love you, Mike. And then we have the soon-to-be dead Jacob BUDZ kicked off the show.
Wait, I'm gonna die?
Yeah, personally, you.
Yeah,
He has a channel. It makes videos.
Send assassins?
We're actually screen sniping you, but in a different way.
Shit.
Here with some words for our lovely sponsors of the one and only Guy SCLANDERS.
Yes, that's right, absolutely. So we utilize Fantasy Grounds. Fantasy Grounds is one of our big sponsors, and they are currently in a Kickstarter to create Fantasy Grounds 2 called Fantasy Grounds Unity. So go and have a look at that Kickstarter. It's currently running. It is amazing. So if you want to run games that look like the games that we run, Fantasy Grounds is your choice. VTT. For those of you that don't know what VTT is, that's virtual tabletop. See, I can't do this quickly. Anyway, have a look for that on Fantasy Grounds. The other sponsor is a Dungeon Painter Studio, and the maps you're going to see in today's show are all created on Dungeon Painter Studio by our very talented GM, DM, CODY himself in the actual program. So it's very pretty. Have a look at that. Both of them are available on Steam to pick up whenever you so choose. Now, we also have a Patreon account, so you can support the team because, well, it's always nice to support people, isn't it? I think so. New Save or Dice show coming out on the After Dark show, so look out for that. That starts next week. That should be a lot of fun.
We just had an epic conclusion over there.
We did. We just had an epic conclusion coming up. That's this week, and so next week starts a new one, and that should be a lot of fun. That's under the baton of Mike DMing for us. Then, so many things. We are at Gen Con this year. Save or Dice is going to Gen Con as well as, each of us are going, as well as Save or Dice, I suppose you could say. We will be running a game live on Friday afternoon, 3 p.m. Find us in the thousands of things happening at Gen Con this year. Come and watch us, come and support us, and come and chat to us afterwards or beforehand, because, that's always a thing. So, yes, we will be there. What room are we in? Do we know where we are at the moment?
We do have that information. I don't know it offhand, but it should be on Gen Con's site. Because if you are going to Gen Con, obviously you can start, I think, registering for events now or signing up for the events you want to be registered for, right?
So you can wish list events at the moment.
Yes.
We're in the West End Grand Ballroom 5.
What's the West End Grand Ballroom?
Actually, it says V.
Well, I assume that means 5. Okay. It's going to be a Friday at 3 p.m., and I will post the link in the chat.
Look at you. There we go. I'm done. I'm going to hand over to Dave.
That's okay.
Dave's got some important stuff to talk about regarding competitions.
Ooh.
Dave.
Ooh, we are going to be tweeting out the winners to the Fantasy Grounds competition. That's it. Follow us on Twitter so you can find out if you won stuff.
Damn it, I should have entered that.
What is that? Now that's fun. What is that Twitter handle, David?
At Save or Dice Show.
At Save or Dice Show. All right. So yeah, if you guys want to find out if you won last week's Fantasy Grounds Unity giveaway, slide over to at Save or Dice Show after the show ends, and we will be announcing the winners over there. Of course, once Fantasy Grounds Unity is fully and completely released, those winners will be receiving a standard license, courtesy of Fantasy Grounds, our sponsor here on the show. So kudos to those winners, even though you don't know who you are yet. So you might have won. You don't know. It's out there. It's a possibility. It's a world filled with possibilities.
Oh my god, I'm gonna go check.
It's Schrodinger's competition.
Spoiler alert, it's not you, Jacob.
All right, so without further ado, cast your minds back to our previous session. So, guys, we had a pretty crazy opening here as you guys have found your way to Haven Shield in search of your friend based off of a distress message from your friend Lacia Scrath, and that has brought you to Haven Shield. Unfortunately, upon your arrival, you were accosted by several of the Warhounds, the kind of sort of de facto army on this world ship planet at the moment, as this is a world ship of ruin and junk and bandits and outlaws and scallywags and all of those other terrible adjectives that I won't get into any further. And unfortunately, due to slight misunderstanding with a previous individual of interest in helping you acquire the Rogue Infinity back in the Flamsteed system, you guys soon found yourselves taken in by these warhounds to collect a bounty on behalf of this individual. The court system here, however, did not treat you so kindly, and you were soon put into the blood court to determine your innocence and guilt. Things looked pretty terrible for a while there. And fortunately,
and
though,
they got worse.
you did have someone who apparently was able to come up with a bit of a defense team for you, which did aid you in your ultimate verdict of innocent, as things go in the blood court. Of course, after that, you met a few unique individuals. You were invited to speak with King Corvallis. Whether or not that is related to the incident with Lacia, you are uncertain at this point. Of course, you have the envelope with the blue beetle on it, and after trying to have Jett sell some drugs out on them streets, you guys are able to make enough funds to find yourselves at least in some form of a place to sleep in the Ramshackle, and you guys are put in this kind of rundown hotel. If that's even the right word for this. This is more like a hostel. And, you guys are put into a room with several bunk beds and kind of been like, all right, there you go. As you guys were trying to kind of figure out what to do next and if you wanted to go reclaim the Rogue Infinity or how you were going to deal with Yelda or if you were going to meet King Corvallis, you were sort of ambushed slowly by one of the fangs belonging to the Warhounds. And he instructed you that Rulkaens had found several pieces of your encryption code unique to the Rogue Infinity's encryption signature, which is how you know Lacia was the one doing the contacting. And he wanted to blackmail you for half. Jett, do you want to describe what you attempt to do next as you stare down at this sort of just huge minotaur bull-like creature with the big cybernetic eye, leaning back casually with his several men in this room as he attempts to blackmail you?
As I remember the conversation going, Jett said, "Have you told anybody else?" And he said, "No." And then Jett and I proceeded to say, "I shoot him in the head."
And that is where we will pick up. So, here's what I need you to do, sir.
As his body hits the floor.
Yes, he's dead instantly.
That's how headshots work, Cody.
If only I think we have a map here to give some people some context as to the situation that is currently presenting itself.
I did not realize how many people there were. That my bad, guys. My bad. Sorry.
We definitely have some crew here that has accompanied their boss, basically, as he sat back casually, not feeling very threatened. Why would he feel threatened with all of this firepower around him as Jett begins to make his move? So
I had a similar thought. How could I be hurt with all this firepower around me?
I want you to give me a check. I want you to give me a check to give me a bluff check against his sense motive.
A bluff check, you say?
To see if you can get this shot off first. If you succeed on this bluff check, I will let you auto crit Because this guy is
Oh my
just sitting
goodness,
there
you have,
stationary. You're
that would be
5 feet. You're 10.
incredible.
What is it? You're 10, 15 feet away from him. No problem. That's a pretty damn
25
little
cents.
good bluff check here. So let's see how Rulkaens handles this. As he
You're plus 17?
let's see what
I
he's
sure do
going
have
to
plus
do.
17.
He
Dear goodness.
has.
Spec
Oh.
my entire class on a bluff.
Let's just do this. Oh, and for those of you on stream,
You rolled a 20. Shit.
things are not going great for you.
Nope.
That looks bad.
As you
He
go,
just Darth Vadered your shot.
He did.
Can you catch a
Darth
laser? 'Cause I think
Vader.
he caught the laser.
He's like Kylo
He
Ren.
was
in
like,
the-
he monked the laser and then threw it out.
Yeah.
Face monk.
Jacob,
did.
the question is have you reached out to Kim to get your next character's arc going? All right, so we're gonna jump into initiative here, and I'm gonna let these two act first. I'm gonna let Jett and Rulkaens act first, and then we're gonna jump into initiative immediately following after that.
I
So let's
can
go ahead and
do
roll
a
initiative for
thing.
everybody.
I'm gonna
And-
before you roll initiative. I have a thing. It tells me specifically to tell you before initiative.
Okay.
I have a feat. It is called Fast Talk. And then I can distract a creature with a confusing barrage of words, causing it to be surprised at the beginning of combat. I can use this ability only on a creature you are able to converse with and must be able to see and understand my words prior to the beginning of combat, and you must continue to converse with it until combat begins. You can't use this ability if you are the one to instigate combat. Never mind.
I'm going to be honest. Whatever you just used is working. I'm confused.
Just I say that I barrage him with those words. Not just kidding.
So that brings us. That brings us to combat. Of all people, that leads off with Jett Smith with his natural 20. So, sir, please, or not natural 20, but his 20 initiative. Jett, please take your turn. What would you like to do? Fire off your shot.
Well, I'm gonna do what I told you I was gonna
Okay,
do.
he is. You can hover over his name here to see him, so you can
Right.
make those attacks directly against him.
Yeah, I know how to do it. I might do a feint here. Let me see if I can feint him out. Yes, I need to attempt a bluff check with the same DC as the check to feint against the enemy, which should be against his. I have to check it. I believe
Whilst
it's
he's busy
his.
checking all of that, Cody, there's a quick question. On the map, there appears to be a floor tile that is loose with stairs going down it. Do we see
No,
that?
it is not stairs. It is just such a crappy place that literally, like, one of the tiles. This is basically the flooring in between the two levels. You guys are on the third level of the Ramshackle. You guys are on level 3. Literally below you is just like pipes and wires and insulation.
So no plot
literally
armor
just
from the
floor.
GM then. All right, perfectly fine.
However, you guys do have a window out here next to Snikt, which might lead down to a 3-story drop. And then, of course, you know that the stairwells are on either end of this long hallway as you guys came up. So as you come out the hallway, right or left, they both lead down and up.
All right, it is 10 plus his sense motive, and I can do this as part of my attack action because I have 2 feats that allow me to do it. So I'm going to bluff against 10 plus his sense motive.
And of course, he doesn't have sense motive over here, so let's just
So
use
it's his challenge rating thing. It's 15 plus 1 or 1/2, 1 to 1/2 the opponent's challenge rating, whichever one is greater.
It's 1 and 1/2. Okay, so his CR. Okay, great. So it's 15 plus 21. So you're able to succeed in that.
Sweet. So kind of what happens, the way I'm describing it, is I pull out one gun and I pretend to fire it, and it doesn't go off, and then the second one just pew. I take my second gun and fire, and use that instead. So he is flat-footed, meaning he has a -2 to armor class, and he has that until the end of my next turn.
Okay.
Anyways, I will shoot him now.
Is that for everybody or just for you?
Everybody. He's flat-footed for everybody.
Okay, you fired that off at Treewix. Treewix is actually the Strix here. So that would be a 26, correct? That's going to hit
Yes.
Rulkaens anyways.
Oh, was I supposed to? Oh, I was trying to hit Rulkaens.
Yeah,
Got it.
Rulkaens is the big noir. He's the one that looks like
Got
a
it.
bull. I know all the tokens look alike, but
Got it.
Treewix he's just a Strix. He hasn't actually said anything.
No problem. I'm going to. So that hits.
Absolutely, yeah. So 26 is more than enough, my friend.
Awesome. That's some damage right there.
So you go to pull this thing out. He already begins to kind of move and react to this. You see him pulling out his gun as well. You're able to fire off as you kind of like fake juke him for a moment. You see him reach up with his laser pistol, and he's going to fire it right back into your gut. Let's see how well he does.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's gonna hit. That's gonna hit. So
Yep.
he's gonna throw out some damage here, buddy, as he returns the volley for 13 points of damage as well. And you look down and you can see this is basically just like shoots out this enormous flame back over in your way. And like for the rest of you, this is happening like in slow motion. Like you can see, oh shit, and dude, all of the other guys are reaching down for their weapons and pulling them out. You guys are reacting in turn. And so that is going to bring us back to the top of the round here with none other than Jett Smith. Jett, what would you like to do, sir?
Oh, God. I look in slow-mo. I kind of look to the rest of the party and see what their engaging reactions are right now.
Biggest problem with the doctor, he's a brain and a glass jar. His reaction is...
Oh, shit, he has no face.
Everyone else is robots.
Jett, what are you doing, buddy?
Okay.
Because all that slow motion has just sped up as adrenaline goes.
And I roll the shot grenade over, and I'm going to put it right in the middle between all of them.
Throw me an attack roll against an AC of 15.
Got it. I'm not out of ammo. Game. Boop.
Attacking while out of ammo. Second, yeah, you hit it. You're going to be able to put this exactly where you want. How big is the radius?
I believe it's a 5-foot radius, and it just goes out 5 feet. I want to put it in the middle. That's going to hit Trewix, Rulkaens, and Noir Warhound Enforcer 4.
Okay, so you want to put it right on Trewix?
Yes. And it's just going to explode out right there.
Okay. And what type of grenade is this? One more time.
This is a shock grenade 2. Does 1d12 electricity damage. I believe they have to make a DC 13 dexterity saving throw. Or a reflex save.
Reflex saves. Yay. That's a thing. Okay, great. So we've got... give me just a moment here. We've got Rulkaens who is going to smash that save.
Got it.
We've got Trewix who is pulling out some sort of huge blade from his back that is very... jagged and toothed. He is going to fail that save with the saber dice 4, so he's going to take full damage.
Awesome.
And then we've got some other dudes. Let's see. This guy is going to make a reflex save. That's a 4. Doesn't matter. It's the same mod. He's going to make it. The next guy is going to make it as well. And the last guy is going to... Holy smokes. Let's see what he does. Yeah, he's going to make it as well. So
awesome.
The only one that's going to take full damage is go figure, Trewix.
Nice, cool. Should I drag... I'll just roll the damage. They are all going to take a grand total of 9 damage.
So 4?
Yeah, so 4 for everybody else and then 9 for Trewix.
Okay, no problem. And everybody else will take 4. That is going to bring us down to the Warhounds, who, as immediate, just huge roar of voices outside... By your estimate, all of you inside this room, unfortunate enough to be stuck with Jett as your captain of the Rogue Infinity, you realize that there are easily another 4 or 5 voices coming from outside as screams down the hallway, and this big explosion begins like kind of shocking and people taking cover. Kill them! Get them! Bring them down! And one of them's like, save Rulkaen! And they're going to jump into action here. So we've got some space pirates who are going to do some terrible things. They're going to move into the room.
Are you guys ready to die?
They're going to move into the room to kill Jett.
Just sacrifice me.
He comes up with a longsword.
Ha!
Oh, wow! With a miss. How about that? That's okay. There's more of them. That's going to bring us down to the next space pirate. There's a lot of them. That's going to bring us down to the next space pirate, who is going to slide up here, which you guys can't see. He's going to slide to there. He's going to slide up as well. And this one is going to do some things that the stream will see, but that you guys won't. as he begins
secrets.
to slide in other areas, and he will do that as well. Okay. That's going to bring us to Domino. So, Domino, you see a couple of people here with blades and a couple of people here with weapons and guns and lasers and rifles. What would you like to do as this guy moves up and begins kind of swiping over at Jett as he clings into the top bunk, and Jett kind of leans back to avoid it.
So
Almost got me.
this is no new news here, Cody. You made a T-shirt about it. We all know that I don't like to read books and have no intention of starting now. So how does attack of opportunity and or squeezing work in space?
Okay, so attacks of opportunity are going to be if you move within a threatened area, unlike 5e, where it's only when you move out. In addition to that, ranged attacks and spell attacks will also, or spell casting will also trigger attacks of opportunity.
Okay, but you only get one a turn, right?
It's one reaction a turn, sir.
Okay. What about squeezing?
You can tumble.
Ooh, tumbling.
I'm looking for a squeeze.
Where are you trying to position? Out the window in the back?
In the space of realism here, a human body and an android or a minotaur, maybe a minotaur, might take up a full 5 foot square. I want to touch the door.
You want to touch the door?
Yeah, like I will baseball slide through the legs of this minotaur. I just want to touch the door. That's all I need to do is touch the door, and then I'll die.
You're gonna
but I'm
touch
just going to touch the door. Just going to touch the door.
Just roll your attacks of opportunity against you.
Here's the deal. There's no way that you're going to be able to do that, but I think it's cool for you to try.
Okay.
I will. If you want to make a tumble check to try to do that, are you going to try to in turn cast something?
I am. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a touch.
How much?
spell.
Let me ask you this: how much movement do you have?
Like a fucking, I don't know, all of it.
30.
30, yeah, at least. Yeah, 30.
Pretty sure tumble you move half speed, but all right, I'll allow it. If you want to give me a hell of a tumble check,
Technically, if I move 5, 10, 15, I'll be like in the same space as Noir Warhound 4, and the space that the door exists in is 5 feet away. So it wouldn't be. I would move half my speed and be able to touch that square with a door in it.
You've convinced me. That's fine. You've convinced me, buddy. You've convinced
What
me.
is?
Give me a
is
tumble check.
skill?
Yeah, give me
is
a
tumble
tumble
an
check.
actual skill on here?
You just make an acrobatics check.
Yeah, just make an acrobatics check.
Acrobatics.
How do you want to die?
Perfect.
How would you like to describe your
That's the title of today's
24.
Damn!
Wow.
There would
What
be...
sound do you make while you're sliding under?
Okay, now are you also
Metal on
trying to
metal.
cast a spell?
Yeah, so basically I slide underneath this
Okay,
guy. It's
okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let you slide up right next to Rulkaens, who is sitting in a chair. You can't see it. You can see it on the map now if I move him.
Sure.
He's sitting in a chair. And
Yep.
Treewix, who is trying to draw his sword with his big wings. So I will let you slide up. I'm gonna move you back to a square when you're done casting the spell.
Yep.
Whoops, I moved the wrong guy. Okay, so I will let you slide to there and cast your spell, buddy, but they're definitely gonna make attacks.
That's fine. I cast Security Seal, and I magically lock that door. It is now a DC 20 engineering or computers to open it.
Okay.
That is my entire spell.
No, we're not running.
I needed to touch the door.
They're gonna use the
Get the
reaction. They're gonna make Treewix is gonna use his reaction to finish drawing out this.
That's totally fine. Yeah, hit me.
Dude, that was awesome!
Actually, you know what? He hasn't gone yet to draw his sword, and
punch me.
Rulkaens is not holding. Rulkaens is not holding a melee weapon at the moment.
Yeah, it's just Warhound 4 and Force of 4, right? Because he
Who
has
not.
that.
Yeah, but he has not gone yet either.
He has.
Unarmed strikes.
According to the initiative shot.
No, that's the space pirate, not him.
Oh, those are Space Pirates. Apologies. I just saw the...
You slide up. You slide up and lock the door and kind of fall back. Here's the deal. In order to do this, you are kind of like on your knees. So I'm going to give you the prone condition.
Oh yeah, no, I slid in. I'm prone. I'm prone on the ground.
I'm going to give that to you. I'm going to give that to you. But none of these guys are prepared for you to go sprinting past. As you dive, roll over, raise up, and cast your spell, and you can hear this immediately from the door locking and shutting closed.
Yes.
Wow. All right.
That was awesome.
That was well done, Michael. Well
Guys,
done.
I have 2 combat spells, so just gonna have more of that.
Well done, Michael. As the
Well, guys,
door
it's easy
closes behind you. That brings us over to Snikt. You look up and you can see Domino is basically right at the feet, kind of at the crotch of Rulkaens, who has just fired off at Jett and is looking down at Domino as he's kind of leaned back here. What are you doing?
Cats. We go out the window.
Okay, you need to do something with the window because it has bars on it.
Oh, there's bars on
It's
it.
that type
part.
of neighborhood. Hell yeah, you have bars on it.
Okay.
There's no fire escape because that's not how these places are designed. But it does have bars, so people can't jetpack up
That's
and rob
fine.
you.
Is it like security bars? Are they
No, just basic metal bars. Just basic metal bars. There's not even like a mechanism or anything like that. You could probably cut through them if you had like a quick little torch or anything like that. You might be able to shoot a couple
Yeah,
of
I
them
got
off.
my mechanic kit or whatever.
You could probably take them off the hinges from the inside.
David's like, can I hack the wall?
Can I hack the
All I need you to do is just give me a basic. Give me a basic. It's not mechanics check. It's a God. It's typically computers, but that's not computers. Yeah, just roll me-
engineering?
Yeah, give me an engineering check. That's what I'm looking for. It's
Okay.
like you just need to beat a 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
That's
fine.
fine.
You can do it in a round. It'll take you a full action. You turn
Okay.
over, you pull out your kit, and you and your buddy here, Scrap Heap, begin kind of like taking and pulling the bolts out as all hell is breaking loose behind you from this window.
So if my action is to remove the bars, can he then move me out the 5 foot?
Yes, he can move you out. It's like a half ledge.
He's got a climb speed.
Yeah, it's like a half ledge. You
Uh-huh.
can probably climb down, no problem. There's tons of stuff for him to climb, grab, and
I don't want to climb down. So for anyone that doesn't know, Scrap Heap attaches to me like via harness, and he is all spider legs, metallic spider legs, and weapon arms. So he just kind of like zips me right out to the outside, and
That's
I will
awesome.
take cover around the
That's
corner.
awesome.
You can hear Treewix kind of look up, stop him, and kind of point over at Snikt, and he is going to probably step up to the window. I think. Michael, you're not holding a melee weapon, are you? Nope. Okay. He's gonna finish pulling his sword, and by the way, he moved this way, so if anybody doesn't have, and he is going to try to take this big ass fang blade.
He
and
has
drive
entered
it
my
through
threatened
Snikt.
space. Can I kick him?
He has not traveled through your threatened space,
Oh, but he's landing right there, though.
right?
Diagonally is
But that's my area.
yeah.
He hasn't moved
No,
through.
sir. He's
Moved
pulling up
into-
a fang blade, and he is going to try to destroy Snikt before he gets away and cut everybody else off.
Do I get partial cover from the window?
You would, but it's a crit.
You would, but it's a 20. When the players and the dice conspire to kill
That
the
roll
body,
technically
I'm-
against Scrap Heap. I dropped it on you, but it dropped it on him, not you.
Okay.
So I'm not going to have Scrap Heap take that damage. Please take 18 wounds. And you are bleeding 1d8.
Oh, shit.
As you see him kind of come up, stop him! And you kind of turn around like, guys, I got the window ready. And you just see Treewix come up, his big wings spread out from his back to block your sight from everybody. And he just kind of like pushes forward and just drives this blade, cutting deep into you. This cuts really, really deep into his side, and you can feel one of your ribs crack as he kind of pulls it back in a sawing motion from all the fangs on this blade. And you can look down and you see this just gushing blood from you. Fortunately, your armor kind of, as it came in, it kind of pushed it a little bit more to the side. Otherwise, that might have been a killing blow.
All right, so that goes straight to wounds?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, no.
Oh.
No, I'm sorry. The bleed will go to your wounds. That is going to come into Luna. Luna, what would you like to do as all hell is breaking loose?
Cry.
This is just the first round, guys. Buckle
Robots
up.
can't cry. You're fine.
Okay. Luna is going to use trick attack. She is going to take her 2 daggers that she is holding, and she's going to bounce off of the wall here and go stab him.
Okay.
That's awesome.
With that, it is before making my attack. I'm going to do a stealth check.
Okay. Are you trying to hide in this really tiny room?
Just out of his view, so he
Okay.
doesn't see it coming.
I'll say that so Jett is kind of on this bottom bunk right here. So you kind of like take a moment, kind of peek down behind him, pop over and around. So give me that stealth check to see if he catches up, because he's pretty focused at the moment on Snikt and cutting off this exit.
And I have to make a DC equal to 20 plus my target CR.
Okay.
Okay.
Target CR is 5.
Cool.
So yeah, you're good.
I'm also going to do debilitating trick.
Okay.
Actually, no, I'm going to use bleeding shot. Sorry, I picked the wrong one. Bleeding shot does.
I think bleeding shot is a shot, right?
Oh yeah, I can't do it with mine.
With a gun.
My bad. My bad.
What
I'll do debilitating trick.
what them knives do?
They just stab. Let me grab them. Hold on.
Boom. Fire it off. Yeah, you connect
one of
once on the KAC, just barely, and yeah, you slice back at him. Your stealth check was successful. So do you have extra damage that you throw on that?
No, he's just flat-footed.
Okay,
Right now.
awesome. That is going to bring us. So Scrap Heap's going to go. I don't know why it's rolling for him. It applied a bleed to him. So yeah, that bleed will be on you, buddy. On your turn, Dave takes 7. Asander, the doctor, who what is the doctor doing, Guy Sclanders?
This is what we're going for on the planet.
I'm not entirely sure, but they know too much. We have to get rid of them.
Very well, as you say, I suppose. Oh dear. Right. I'm not really designed for combat, Captain. As a doctor, I
Give me
feel.
something to help me. He shot me in the chest.
Yes.
Are you making fun of me?
What? No. I reach out. And
Dead.
I gently touch Rulkaens. I'm terribly sorry. This was not planned. But you should.
EAC, okay. EAC.
Actually, no. He just needs to give me a wisdom saving throw. I'm doing the doctor placing his hand on the shoulder of a patient who hopefully will paralyze. He's got a wisdom saving throw of 14 to beat. DC 14 to beat. So of course he beats it.
Oh my god.
Nothing happens. I just casually stand next to him.
He brushes his shoulders off. Hey, man.
I massage his shoulders a little bit because I'm that kind of doctor. Apparently.
This is what we're going for. You got some
Apparently.
crumbs, my
This is
man.
what we're
Let me
going
just get
for.
those for you.
Violence and oh, you are so you know that I have something for this knot back on the ship.
Those muscles are real.
He kind of snorts back over at you, and you can see him
Wow.
like grasping down on his chair as he begins to rise from the chair. I'm going to say it's going to take half his movement. Not that it's going to matter. He sees Domino laying at his feet.
I'm picturing Guy as a robot who's a gay robot, but he's just a jar trying just to do some Minotaur. Oh, you do work out. But he's a robot in a suit.
You look over and see him, so he kind of just leaves. So as he like looks over at you, he grasps onto the edge of this chair and pushes himself up. His gun that he had shot over at Jett is just laying on the floor. He just drops it at your feet, Domino. And you kind of like see this gun tumble down as you kind of like looking down at his feet, and you look up at him, and you see him pulling out what can only be described as a chainsaw built into a sword. And in one motion, all of you can hear the begin as he brings it down, crashing down over the top. as it begins to rev up. And he is going to attack you, buddy.
I don't like that.
Uh-oh. That's not very good.
He is going to get a +4 to that.
Don't like it. Whatever you're
Is
doing.
a 26 going to make... is that
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's going to hit anyone.
Yeah. Yeah. So he only drills into you for 15 because, unfortunately, as the rest of you all have to listen, but Domino, even worse, has to feel, the blade begins to slice down and he kind of bangs it real hard and catches more of the metal from some of the internal structure of your android, cutting through a bit of the organic material. And the chainsaw's revving so fast, it actually bounces the blade back up. If you guys have ever caught a chainsaw at a bad angle while chopping down a tree, and you can see him kind of revving up to do it again. That's going to be his turn.
Okay.
Boy.
And we have a bunch of people banging on the doors outside. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to have them fucking make 2 rolls.
Banging on the door.
Yep. And, what's their strength?
It's engineering or... I don't think you can actually break it down. With
Can you
strength.
not break it down?
No. It says...
You can try to attack the door and physically destroy the door. But
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to destroy the door.
Right.
Yeah, the only way to open it is to engineering or computers.
Right. So that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to break the door.
Okay.
So they are going to... All right, you guys can hear banging, and you begin to see like a little bit of a dent in it, and eventually kind of splinters through. It's just a tiny sliver.
The DC is +5 for breaking the door down.
That wouldn't change anything. That wouldn't change anything here, because that wouldn't change anything here. So you can see them. They're actually physically taking, and you can see several of them are ramming their horns into it instead of just because they felt like they could get more strength behind that than physically attacking it. And then the only person that is going to go inside the room remaining is the Enforcer, who sees you down on the ground. He is going to pull out a... Oh, God. He's going to pull out a cryopike. No, actually, you know what? He's going to horn you, buddy. And he's gonna full attack you, so these are going to be at -4.
So you're on your knees surrounded by 3 horny guys.
I'm laying prone.
They're getting horny on you.
And the second one's going to be a 22 against your KAC.
That hits.
Yeah, that's going to hit. And he slams down into you. Literally, like, as it kind of bangs off, and you can see Rulkaens, like, raising up, just furious. And this one just kind of reaches down and just bangs into your skull. That's going to bring us to the top of the round.
They're banging and they're horny.
Jett, you caused all this. What would you like to do, sir?
Mama always told me to finish what I start, so I'm gonna do that. I'm going to... Is there a negative to using ranged weapons in melee?
Oh, yeah. You provoke attacks of opportunity.
Oh, wow, that's terrible. So I'm going to
No, it's
leave.
not.
I'm going to leave. That's not like a bad rule. It's just like it's bad. I'm going to get over here.
Okay,
And I'm leaving that threat in space.
You can take a 5-foot guard step and do
Great.
that.
That's what I'm doing.
Fire off.
And I'm going to spin both of my guns all cool like and be like, hey, it's me you want, as he begins to chainsaw Domino. I'm going to pull up both my guns and I'm going to try to feint him again as I'm going to do my fainting attack because why not? Boop. Boop.
That's against his 21. That's not going to be good enough.
Well, guess what? I have expertise in that, and I can roll a d6 to increase it even after I know the result.
Before you do that, let me just double check. It's 15 plus 1.5 CR, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so it is 21. I just wanted I wanted to make sure I'm telling you the right thing.
I can also spend a resolve to re-roll it, but I'm not going to do that because I think I can get it.
Because you do bard things. Oh!
Damn. Oh, well.
That brings us down to the pirates.
It's
Who are going to...
the whole turn. I have to shoot him. That's a part of my shoot.
Oh, that's a part of your shot. Okay,
Yes,
I was just too
so
excited.
I
Somebody said
out,
that
it doesn't work, and I just do 2 attacks.
Somebody sounds like the GM sounds a little giddy. I am. This has been stressing me out all week, so I'm just enjoying this.
Fuck! Both of them miss.
When the dice...
I don't even know what to tell you, buddy.
I'm screwed. That's what's going on here. You guys take cool turns. I'm gonna sit over here and be in my sad corner.
This is
Can I join you?
This is not going very well for y'all at all. All right, so the pirate's gonna slide up because he's got them. He's what that sword do? He's still got that long sword, so he's gonna come up and he is going to fire off that long sword. He cannot full attack, unfortunately, because he had to move. Ooh, he misses. Again, once again, he is just kind of like you're banging and clanging. You've climbed up to the top of the bunk bed at this point. You're kind of like leaning in the back, and he can't. He's trying to reach and stab you. Slide over. He swipes. You lean back. He comes in down, cling, and you can hear him just desperately trying to hack at you. He's not doing a very good job.
I'm moving up against the wall, and I'm like Muhammad Ali. I'm just like ooh, and he just can't hit me.
Muhammad Omelet. All right, that is going to bring us down to. You guys hear more banging outside, though some of the voices sound like they are getting far away, and you guys can hear they're headed outside. I'll flank over, and you can hear them kind of like giving directions to them, calling out that Snikt has left out the window.
Now,
Domino,
Cody,
what would you like to do?
I know machines. Being one, I know a thing or two about them.
You are intimate with toasters.
I'm intimate. I get intimate with toasters. You've seen it. That's okay. This chain sword, right? That's happening here. This is a powered machine, would you say? It's got some kind of charge on it, right?
Sure.
Does it or does it not?
No, sure. Why not?
Okay. Fantastic.
I think the buzz blade would have some sort of mechanics to it.
Sure. So while it's into the back of my head, I reach up. Oh, no. And I grab onto it, and I'm going to use transfer charge. And I transfer 20 charges of power out of its battery, which it probably doesn't have, into the battery stored in my spell cache. And it goes, and just stops working. If it has less than 20 charges of
I need you
power,
to make an
it stops.
acrobatics check to grab this, as it has been slammed and banged down into you. I mean, this is Luke Skywalker against Darth Vader, just and you're trying to reach up and grab it. So I need you to give me some kind of acrobatics check here to successfully do that.
Would standing help me?
You may stand up. It is a move action. Yeah. It does not provoke an attack of opportunity.
Okay. That's nice.
That's not how you roll anymore. Hold on.
I haven't been studying the rules for this game at all for this stream. All right.
13?
Yeah, not going to be enough.
I just need to touch it. I don't need to grab it. I just need to make physical contact. It is a touch spell.
Here's what I will let you do. I mean, this is that you would have to have done that as a reaction. Can you cast a spell as a reaction? Or right now you could hold your turn.
No, it's just a standard action to touch the item, the powered item. I was just flavoring it as he was bashing me in the head. So really, I can just stand up and be like, oh. Like mechanically, all I have to do is touch the powered item. What is your? It
would be your regular attack roll. So what's your base attack bonus? Does that beat a 15?
I have a +5, so yes.
Okay.
Yes, 18.
You reach up and grab the hilt of the sword. Because you are casting a spell, right? Is this a spell?
It is a touch spell.
Okay. So because you're casting a spell, you're going to get some opportunity attacks your direction.
Even on touch spells, that's a boner killer. I don't think they added that rule. Usually it's on ranged spells.
Does it say in the spell description that it provokes or it doesn't?
Yeah, because it'll tell you in the spell description if it doesn't follow that rule.
It doesn't say, I don't think. There's a paragraph and a half, so I'm just going to assume it doesn't say that. So go ahead.
Because the reason is because this is typically not used as an offensive spell.
Yeah.
So this is going to provoke.
Okay.
So he is going to smash down into you. You are going to be able to touch it, but he's going to get this attack off first.
Okay.
That's how we're going to roll this.
Sure.
All right, so he slashes down into you. I'm assuming a 22 hits. With his reaction, he has no more reactions. You're going to take some damage here, buddy. And you're going to decharge his weapon.
So what happens when you run out of HP?
Oh, you begin dying.
You lose a resolve point.
Because I never had. I don't know if we rested before.
What is your max resolve, Domino?
Did we rest after the blood thing?
No.
You have not had a chance to rest. Okay. Yet another reason I was surprised from the last
there was an eagerness.
Oh boy.
I don't know where resolve is, man.
Okay, not a problem.
5?
Okay, so
As
here's
long as
so
it's
five.
five.
So here's how this works in Starfinder for those of you guys who are interested in kind of learning this. So when you are dying, you may spend 1/3 of your max resolve, or a quarter of your max resolve. In your case, it'd be 1 point, the minimum of 1, maximum of 3, to stop dying. Once
Okay,
you
you
have
lose one
stabilized,
automatically.
the next turn you may spend 1 resolve point to stand up with 1 HP.
Correct.
So 2 turns, 2 resolve, and you better hope that you don't get attacked.
So you lose 1 automatically while going down?
The moment you drop, you lose 1 resolve.
Got it.
Okay. So yeah, you drop down. I'm going to say that you get off the spell though.
Okay.
So we're going to describe this as you reaching up to grab this, him coming back down. You are able to grab it, and you can feel the charge of the release of magic as it begins to kind of drain. Unfortunately, you kind of get caught up in that sense of that, all of that energy being brought into you, and he just comes down and grinds through your clavicle, inches from your surprising organic heart. And you guys see Domino, like, as it grinds and the sparks sparking off and flying off, cutting through his titanium, just flop down to the ground.
So sad.
That brings us to Snikt, who is outside and does not see anybody outside trying to stop him quite yet.
Okay, so this guy is like hanging out the window, swinging his sword at me.
No, he's standing inside.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he's inside. If you're strong enough, you might be able to pull him out the window, which would be hilarious. He does also have a pretty gnarly set of wings.
Set of what?
Wings.
Wings,
These are
right.
Strix.
So that probably is not going to help as much. All right. Scrap Heap, hit him right and give him the cheddar shot. And Scrap Heap is going to reach into the window and punch him in the face with the pulse gauntlet.
Yeah, is that EAC?
That is, I don't know. I'm just going to drop it on the token and let Fantasy Grounds figure that shit out.
That hits.
22.
That hits.
All right. Right? That's why we use Fantasy
That's
Grounds.
why we use Fantasy
Our
Grounds.
virtual tabletop of choice.
Very convenient.
And I guess so firing at him would give me an attack of opportunity. So I don't want to do that. But I will have Scrap Heap take a guarded step up.
Okay, so you're going to move up 5 feet.
Yes.
So you are, like, he'll have to come out in the window to see you.
Yes, and I should be out of his reach at
You
that
guys
point.
you guys see Snikt and Scrap Heap kind of climbing up, trying to escape. Snikt, as you look down and around, you can hear shouting kind of coming from the sides of the building, but it's not in your sight yet. You have 2 more floors above you. You might even get lucky enough to try to climb to the ceiling or the roof before, if these guys start flooding out into the street floors and shooting up at you, you might be able to get some cover from the roof.
Okay.
That's gonna bring us down to Treewix, who he doesn't care. He's fine. He's gonna step out onto the ledge, and you can see what he's doing is he's actually holding himself into the building with his wings to kind of give him a little extra balance. As he turns up with his fang blade, you see him kind of look up, see you, smile, flip the sword, and swing it straight up at you. You're gonna get a.
I should be out of his reach, Cody.
You said
unless
you
it's
climbed
more
up 5
than
feet,
5
right?
foot.
You climbed
What's
up
that?
You climbed up 5 feet, right? Is what you said?
Yep.
Okay. He's 5 feet tall. You're 10 feet tall. You're the next 5 feet up.
Yeah, the next 5 feet up. Yep.
Yeah. So maybe I'm
Because
not
we were
understanding.
right next to each other, right?
Yeah.
And then I moved 5 feet away.
Yeah. Well, he's 6 whatever, and he has a reach of 7'2" plus the sword of maybe an extra foot. Okay. Well, not foot. Jesus Christ. 4 feet.
4 feet. All right.
I'm gonna say that you're still within range. If you would have climbed farther than that, he would have had to readjust or maybe try to fly.
Okay.
But you are still within his range at this point. I cannot drop this. You're gonna because of the token here. It's not gonna matter because he's gonna get a -4 to that. So that is only going to be a 12. I don't assume that is going to hit your KAC.
That is not going to do it.
Yeah, that's not going to do it. That is going to bring us down to Luna. Luna, you see him kind of like hanging out of the window here.
Luna looks over to Jett and Jett, And she just stands there for a second. I call top bunk when I get back. And she jumps off the top bunk and digs her daggers into the back of this guy.
Right into his wings. Do it.
Yeah. Like right into like here where they start to.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? Because he's so exposed to you, I'm going to give you a +2 on this attack on each of them.
Nice.
He's 25, right?
Yeah,
was what we decided.
Yeah, you've got him beat.
So I messed up my damage roll before. So sorry, guys. But we're learning here. It is 4d8.
That sounds a little more. That sounds a little more.
Let's do that.
Rogie.
Yeah, that sounds a little more roguey. And did you drop? I got to make sure you didn't drop.
And
that
it's a debilitating trick. So
Okay.
extra something. I will find it.
You find out what the extra something in as you kind of dig and you hear him. "Ah!" And he
Nice.
kind of like grits his teeth and he kind of slides halfway in so that he's looking at you and he's trying to like grab with one of his hands these daggers where you've stabbed him. And,
It's 1d4. It's an extra 1d4. 3.
Gotcha.
Nailed it.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, he's looking kind of hurt, and you can see him kind of like limp a little bit. That brings us down to a Sander. By the way, you're gonna take an extra 6 points of bleed, or take 6 at your next turn. Did you take the 7 this turn, David? With Snikt because you're bleeding.
Yes.
Okay, next turn it'll be 6. That's gonna bring us down to a Sander who has gently stroked Rulkaens. Give him a slight little compliment and watched him absolutely obliterate his friend and crewmate Domino with sparks flying out of his shoulder. What would you like to do now, Sander?
Drop to the floor. I literally drop. I'm a doctor. I'm not going to hurt anybody. As I drop to the floor, and then I just gently stroke Domino's ankle. You'll be fine. Just some bolts and welding.
Are you casting a spell?
I am indeed.
Are you? You're trying to. Give me a bluff check.
A bluff check?
Yeah, give me a bluff check. You're bluffing. You know you're bluffing.
16.
Okay.
Rulkaens already used his reaction.
No, yeah, he's already used his reaction. He sure has.
You get back 15 hit points,
Holy
Domino.
crap.
I'm just ignore that mod. That mod's slightly different, but it's close to that.
Oh boy.
You see Rulkaens look, and he just makes straight up eye contact with the brain in the jar. He's just looking
Brain in the
at
jar
you.
looks a little bit embarrassed.
He's not raising his weapon or nearly as aggressive towards you. But yeah, for sure. Is there anything else you want to do, guy?
Just stroke the ankle for a little bit. It's reassuring.
Make sure we're enunciating there, buddy. Let's that brings us down to Rulkaens, who turns and holds his blade down at Domino and kind of studies it for a moment. Don't get up. And he's going to step across you and try to knock out Jett.
Please
I play dead. I am a robot. I just don't.
I'm the best at playing dead.
I'm great at playing dead.
That is going to he's going to come up with that buzz blade. It's going to do slightly less damage, but I'm assuming that hits.
Wait, is it 28?
Yeah.
That's yeah.
That's Fantasy Grounds told me. This is
I don't
going
know why I'm telling
to
you.
it's going to deal 5 less damage
Okay.
in total. So it's going to deal so add 5 to whatever you need to.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
I'm going to tear your limbs off! As he kind of comes up and is growling over in your direction. That brings us to the Enforcers, who are going to do some more banging. Let's see if they're successful. That is going to be... They don't seem to do as well getting through the door this turn. And you can hear them kind of cursing and spitting outside. The rest of them have run downstairs. And that brings us to the Enforcer. Who has Domino, but he's not really worried about it. And he's got Luna, and Snikt is gone. So, sorry, Luna. He's going to step up over here. He's going to step over here and try to gore you. He's going to step up over here and seeing you kind of dig into Treewick's he's going to try to just put his horn right into your back. Sorry. He's gonna horn you. Where is this attack, man? Where is this attack? Okay, there it is. Plus 12. Yeah, plus 12. There we go. That is a natural 1, and he misses. I'm gonna say that he. Ooh, interesting. He's gonna make a save. He is gonna make that save. Let's see how he does. 17. All right. Yeah, he almost barrels into Treewicks and pushes him out the rest of the way out the window. But he's able to catch himself, and he kind of slams down past you into this crate down here with the loud thud. That is going to bring us, I believe, to the top of the round with Jett Smith. Jacob, round 3. What would you like to do?
The chainsaw into me, I just look up to him and I say, "Are you sure you don't want to make a deal? Yeah, we could just try that again if you want to."
Yeah, give me a diplomacy check. You're trying to yield?
Sort of. Yes. I'm seeing if he's willing to yield.
Here's my question to you. And this matters. Is this a diplomacy check or a bluff?
It's a diplomacy. I'm not bluffing.
You're legitimately trying to...
I'm legitimately like, okay, maybe let's not kill each other and maybe try to work this out. Jett is watched Domino go down, and he's very afraid of everybody else dying. 23.
Okay. He kind of looks up at you, and you can see him contemplating. But there's still chaos going around, and Treewicks is being stabbed, and he's pretty mad about that. So that's going to bring us down to the space pirates, who are doing space pirate things outside. At this point, Snikt, you can see a few of these horned guys kind of like gliding into view on these little hover bikes as they wrap around the buildings, and they're aiming up at you. Bike would be like a bad descriptor. These seem to be more like of a personal unit. It's kind of like it's not really a Segway, but they are standing. It's kind of like this hovering little craft that they can kind of lean on.
Can they reach me by using them?
Okay. No, these things they don't fly.
They stay on the ground.
Yeah, they don't fly. They just hover. They're going to do more war pirate things. We've got this guy who's going to stop and hold his action to see what his boss says. Space pirate things, do space pirate things.
I'm going to be like,
Domino!
All right, guys, maybe just stop. All right, I don't want you all to die, man. It's a good idea. We just take the offer.
Cody, I'd like to continue to be Cody in this scenario and take some directorial liberties with how a spell works. So normally this spell functions as I touch another electronic device and make it kind of explode. I'd like to instead take the battery that is inside of me, take it out, the one that I just charged up, and use sleight of hand to place it in that nice little chainsaw sword holder in the back of this Rulkaens guy.
Technically that's too...
So the spell...
Okay, so interact with the object to remove it would be, that's a move action. To place it in there would be another move action, and to cast a spell would be a standard action. So you don't have enough actions to do it all. But yes, if you want to attempt to begin pulling this thing out and charging it up, you can do that.
Okay.
You are also still prone.
Yeah, then, all right. That's not as narratively cool to do that over 2 turns. So I stand up. He's still holding the electronic weapon, right? This chainsaw thing?
Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't really have any charges in it anymore, but I give him the old, I learned this from the doctor, I give him the old reach around, and I grab from behind him, this weapon, and I'm going to use Jolting Surge to...
On his genitalia?
On his weapon, Cody.
Did you at least ask him to talk?
Forgive me for hearing the words reach around. I'm going to I thought you were going to tell... I thought you were trying to shock
how else do you
off.
teach someone to play chess?
He's got a cyber dick.
Thank you. Are you trying to tell me he's got electronic penis? Because that I don't have to stand up if that's
electronic
the case.
penis.
As we have said many times on this show, we do not kink shame here. So
I'm just saying, listen.
if you want to take a shot to see if he does,
Cody, for mechanical reasons, if he has a mechanical junk, I don't have to stand. So I'd like to know what the action economy says here.
Punch him right in the dick.
Yeah, I just reach up and grab it and then shock him.
He does not have mechanical junk at the moment.
In that case, I am going
That
to
would be a
stand.
hell of a smell.
Yeah, space junk though. To be fair.
I am going to stand and make a.
Shit.
How the fuck do I make this without? Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, cool. So I'm going to make a melee basic attack against him, but I have a +2 to this. So whatever it is, and this is against his EAC.
This is
so
EAC.
17?
17 will. Oh, that's really close, bud. This is against the main guy, Rulkaens. His
Yeah.
EAC is 19.
Nope, not enough. All right, that's it.
So you're trying to reach out to do this, and he kind of snorts back over at you.
I just go, shit.
We'll just take this. We'll take this to After Dark territory. If you guys like that bit of potty humor and no filters at all for YouTube, check out the podcast on Patreon. It's $3. You get the podcast. $5. You get the videos every single week.
This one does not provoke an attack of opportunity.
See how it says that?
It does say that.
Snikt! What would you
Nice.
like to do?
This guy's really starting to bug me. Drift out of here, scrap heap. And we are going to skitter 15 foot up the wall. He can take his attack of opportunity. And
He's actually not going to take his reaction for that.
Okay. Well, what he is going to do is take a sticky bomb to the face. KAC 24?
What is the spread on a grenade?
10 foot.
Neat. So if you guys will remember from Luna stabbing him in the back and he was kind of holding himself into the window with his wings, he kind of pulled halfway back to look at her, and you just drop a halo grenade right onto his face, and you can see this grenade land right on his shoulder blade with his wing, Luna, inches, like okay, a foot and a half, 2 feet from your face as well.
Is he going to explode in front of Luna?
Oh, hell yeah.
I look over and I say, watch out! And she gets a +2.
She goes, miscalculation right before you off.
So that's not how it works. On your turn, you can make either a strength or athletics check to get out of it, but entangled and it's a move action. It will be entangling anyone that got hit with it 4 or 5 rounds. I guess that other guy
They still get the initial save, don't they?
Yeah, what's that?
They still get the initial save.
No, there's no save.
No
It's an
save
attack
on at first. That's a hell of a thing. So yeah, you just see it, I guess, glob out in a white sticky goo from this grenade as it just absolutely coats you, Luna.
Why does Luna?
Blame Dave.
You know what?
I had nothing to do with this.
I'm having some flashbacks to another campaign we played.
At least it's not tentacles.
Also, for the record, David is HR as well, so be sure to file a complaint against him. That's going to bring us down to Treewix, who needs
Luna
to escape.
Krispy Kreme, the robot.
As he is just coated in this white, sticky, gooey substance all over his wings, and you can kind of hear as he's trying to fight and pull back from his arms into his wings to raise up his fang blade. What is his? Is it a reflex save?
No, it's either acrobatics or it is a strength check, depending on how you want to do it.
Strength check. Let's see what he got. He has athletics.
It's only a DC 15.
All right, let's do it this way. Yeah. He begins to get... and you can see him kind of pulling in. And as he does, the goo that is kind of quickly hardened like a bunch of dry gum is being pulled and stretched to a point that it begins to kind of snap and separate. And he's kind of freeing himself, and you can see him flinging some of it down, trying to escape from this initial bond that has hardened him into the window. And yes, I heard that. Luna, you're up! What would you like to do?
Hair gel.
Take a short intermission.
She can't breathe.
So I can't make any type of a save, and I can't move out of this.
You can
Correct.
try to break free.
Acrobatics, it's as your move action.
Can I just stab him again instead?
Yes, it'll be at a -4.
Okay. I'm going to do a trick attack under the guise of climbing up his back with my daggers. But she's going to push it into the front of him and just try to pull herself out of this situation.
All right, give me some kind of rolls. We'll see where this shit goes.
I'm going to do. I'm trying to figure out what it would be. I guess a bluff.
You're not gonna stealth, right? You're gonna try to.
She's
bluff
gonna
him?
intimidate.
You're gonna intimidate him.
Yeah.
Okay, so is that part of your trick? Is to say to make an intimidate?
Yeah.
check?
So it's intimidate, stealth, or bluff check.
Okay, as part of an attack, correct?
As part of my trick attack, correct?
Okay, great. Because otherwise, that is making an intimidation check is a standard action. So yeah, go ahead. And this is against tree. Yeah, you smoke tree wicks. How do you intimidate him? Covered in goop.
She just you hear like the tone of her voice go down a little bit, and she's like, "I'm enjoying this far more than you are." And she just like kicks on his wing as she's crawling out of it, and she's just being a creep.
Oh shit!
Generally.
So you can make an attack.
Nice.
Oh, you still got to make an attack.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
you still gotta
I
make
thought
an
I clicked
attack.
That is what? It's a save. It was the save, the 28.
Oh, so the intimidate.
That is my attack. That's what I rolled to be able to make the trick attack.
You make the intimidate, and that's your attack roll. I think you make it as part of it.
What's it called?
We will confirm that. For now, just roll me a d20, or just roll me an attack like you regularly would. I think that's part of the trick to break through. Correct.
Correct.
We
Yep.
will confirm that here.
Yes. Sorry, you're correct.
Okay, so you still do make your attack, right?
I did that. Yes.
Yeah. So, are you doing? Are you making a full attack or not?
Just the one because she's going to use her other hand to
Sure.
push herself up.
Okay. So you're not able to connect. You did intimidate him. But you are unable to actually connect with him as you fight through this goop. Even though the sight of you going, I'm enjoying this much more than you think, and clawing at him wildly through this goop, bonding you in place and trying to swing a dagger at him, has actually startled him a bit. At the pure crazy kind of Terminator, crawling inevitable machine that you are. But you are unable to connect. That is going to bring us down to a Sander.
Captain's called for peace. There's still a huge amount of violence going on. Domino is still engaged. So Asander, having seen all of this going on, he is desperate. He is going to grab Domino's ankle from the floor.
Okay. You got his ankle, buddy.
And just shout, oh dear, is he that kind of idiot? I think he is, because he's following his captain, and his captain has called for peace, but his captain also started the combat. So he is going to grab Domino's ankle, and he is simply going to shout, Tallulah, as he heals you for another 15 points of hit points, Domino.
Who's Tallulah?
Well done. That is going to bring us down to Rulkaens, and he's going to look over. Drop your weapons now.
Me?
Yeah, you're the one that said peace.
Okay, got it. All right, I didn't know. Yeah, right.
And he's like, I'm not fucking with you. Like, I'm gonna kill you right now if you don't drop these weapons. Don't drop.
He believes it, and he's holding both of his guns, but it's not my turn, so I can't do anything.
You can drop them as a free action.
I drop him.
Okay. Does anybody else drop their weapons? Luna does not.
Uh-oh.
I mean, technically, Domino was never holding weapons.
Here's what he does. He is going to full attack you anyways, Jett. How much life do you have?
How much luck?
How much life? How many hit points do you have remaining?
How much life? I've got about...
Not enough?
I'm out of stamina, and I've got 18 wounds to my 28, so 10?
Yeah, he's going to full attack you. Let me just show you here what he does. This is going to be at a minus 4 to each of these, or actually a minus 8 to this hit.
Oh boy.
This will be at a minus 8. I'm assuming that a 24 will still hit.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I auto post that we are looking for a new ship's captain, venerable crew, highly experienced,
deal-
very loyal?
11 points of non-lethal damage.
I'm at 34. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you should be at
Fantasy Grounds was
9.
calculating it differently.
Yeah. And he's going to follow that up with another one. And he is going to... Oh, wait.
Actually, Domino has an automated protocol that as soon as Jett does something stupid, it automatically posts it to message boards that we're looking for a new captain.
Why, like Android.
Auto sends out tweets.
Okay, so you drop your weapons, and this is what you see. You see him turn his blade to the side, and he kind of looks down at a sander, and you see him just like angrily and quickly just... and he smashes the side of the sword into your face and knocks you out.
Ow.
And he does so, and he kind of just like... And he like looks over at the rest of you. You can tell that he like that kind of like just absolute adrenaline is coursing through his body, and he's kind of got that like warrior mentality right now, and he's definitely enjoying this. He's definitely in his element. Yeah, more banging outside the door. And oh yeah, look, they're gonna break through it a little bit more. At this point, you can kind of see the here's Johnny. That's about what's happening with the door. As they're just bam, 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 slamming into it. The rest of them are coming around and circling the building, Snikt, and several of them are taking aim at you. That is going to bring us to the Enforcer, who is going to stand up with his move action and attack Luna twice with his Crypto Pike. So this will be at a -4. 12 probably does not hit you. And he's going to follow that up as he... with a 22. And he smashes it into your head for 16 points of damage. Why did that do 0? Oh, absorbed.
Absorbed an SP.
Okay.
Yeah, it's because it's SP, stamina points.
Stamina points. That is going to bring us over to Jett. You're not dying. You're not bleeding out. You don't need
to resolve, right?
You know, no, you're not dying. You've been knocked unconscious.
Oh.
Yeah, you've been knocked unconscious. And the pirates are doing pirate things, like we said. This one actually is going to step over to Luna and try to stab her as well. He can only stab once with his long sword, which he does poorly. And then that's going to bring us down to our boy Domino, who is just on the shocking nuts grasp.
You know, man, this is a sticky situation. But everyone seems to have forgotten that there was a thing that happened at the very end of last episode. And so Domino, like you see like the beep, 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 beep of the lights go across his eyes. And then from the corner of the room, which I would click on if I could, is a bunch of like scrap moves. And then a robot just sort of drives out of there. Because at the end of the episode, I had made a healing scrap bot.
That's right.
Drive over to Jett. just drives over towards Jett.
Can it climb up to the top bunk?
I don't know if it can climb. I don't know how it flies. It has fly.
Okay, it flies.
So yes, it can.
Wait,
it has a fly speed.
Are they the little bots?
No, I think it's like a hover bed that just like it has arms, right?
No, it's a Roomba. It's a Roomba that flies.
It's a Roomba that flies and has arms to like do surgery things.
That's awesome.
Oh man, there was like that one robot from Star Wars that delivered the baby, the one that had like the one eye. Like, yeah, that's what it looks like, but a bed also. So it just like moves over that up to Jett and then begins to slide him onto the bed. Because it can carry unconscious people. That's a move action for me to telepathically
It's
tell it
big
to do.
enough to do that?
Yeah, it can carry up to a large creature.
It can fly and carry it to a large creature?
Yeah.
All right, so yeah,
I mean,
it comes over and begins healing him. I'm tempted. I got to be honest with you. I'm very tempted.
It has an AC. You can hit it.
Casting a spell or
It's not a
making
spell.
a ranged attack. No, listen, I understand. I understand. but casting a spell and making a ranged attack would provoke an attack of opportunity. So I'm very tempted to say that that's certainly, in rules as intended, would qualify for an attack of opportunity here because we play a little loose.
So
I'm going to allow it.
As your move action, you can telepathically tell it to do things. So the spell was actually last episode. I created it last episode. And so me telepathically moving it is my move. So I
Listen,
can
if it has an AC, that means I can attack it.
You can attack it because technically I guess it's provoking. But it wouldn't be.
It would definitely provoke against Pyro 2. So here's what I do. I don't think Rulkaens gives a shit because he's like, I'm just going to knock him the fuck back out again if I need to. I'm about to destroy everybody. He's in the middle of like, ah!
Yeah.
But this pirate here might be like, what the and just lean over with his longsword at a +5.
Yeah. KAC and EAC are both 17.
Okay. So he's going to lean over with the longsword and just make an attack as it flies by. A 19.
Yep, just barely hits.
Okay, and he's going to deal 1d8 + 3 slashing. So he's going to deal 9 slashing damage to it.
What is... I got to do math now. Why? This is the most math game. What's
Thank
one
you,
quarter
Paizo,
of this?
for streaming us for the first hour here. We appreciate that.
It has 10 hit points, so it has 1 hit point
It
left.
has a hit point left. So basically, he's just like, what? It kind of fly swats at it.
He cuts it like almost in half. And
it jaunts over and heals Jett. Jett, you're conscious.
No, you're not conscious. It just drags you. It just gets you out of the combat.
Oh, bye.
Yeah, so it's gonna pick him up and move him back to where it was in the corner.
Get him to urgent care, quick.
It's moved him to that point, and he's floating on this.
Yeah, I think it's gonna move him out of the
Snikt,
combat.
what do you want to do? Snikt.
No, that was just my move action. Sorry.
Oh wait.
Yeah. These long go turns. I panic because Jett died and he's dumb and there's no way in or out of this place. So I panic touch this Rube Goldberg. What's his name? I touch him.
Rulkaens.
What is with you guys touching each other the whole session?
Yeah, I mean, listen, all my attacks are touch that don't get attack opportunities on them. So I need to make a melee attack against this dude's EAC. Ruben damage.
19.
Okay. So how do and then
Domino is not Draxus, thank you very much. But if you want to see more Draxus, maybe you should tune into the Patreon, the After Dark show.
Why do I have a -4?
Are you?
Oh, it shows me as prone still.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so I should not be
+4 would
prone.
be 21.
Should be 21.
21 connects, sir.
Fantastic. If I hit, I do 48 damage. And then he gets to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Yes,
he makes a will save for. Okay, so he's gonna make his will save. That's gonna be a whopping 17. I assume that's gonna pass.
I think that meets it. So yeah, that's fine. He's still gonna take 4d8 damage. So I'll roll that. But you can keep on keeping on as I find out.
Snikt, what are you doing as he figures out how to damage people?
All right, I am going to take a couple shots at this guy. Suck it, wing boy.
Yeah.
So that's a natural 20.
Mm-hmm.
Ruben Sandwich takes 20 damage.
All right, and he's going to get a little bit of damage, and he's going to burn. Keep on moving. Let's drift. Scrap heap and another 15 feet up.
You guys make it to like the roof. You're not on the roof, but you're like at the roof.
Okay. Well, if that jerk wants to come after me, he's going to get stabbed in the back, so.
That's going to bring us down to Treewix, who's going to take some fire damage as he's trying to put himself out. He kind of looks back up, and he looks back over at Luna. And he flies. He takes off flying towards you, Snikt. So, Luna, you have an attack of opportunity with your reaction if you so choose. It's going to be at a -4 with all your goop.
I'm stuck to him, aren't I?
No, you're just stuck. The whole grenade went off. You're kind of like stuck to the floor.
Okay. She also has her daggers in his chest and is holding on to them.
Oh, that's not going to be good for you. Because see, you don't have enough. You're still stuck in. You never actually broke free from the goop.
Did he break?
He broke free immediately. So you're not going to be. He's going to be able to fly off, but you're going to get an attack of opportunity if you want. Is the point?
Can I, in my attack of opportunity, try to just hold on to them so it like pulls them out as he tries to fly away? Narratively,
I will give you a +2 to use his momentum to try to help finish breaking free. Is that what you want to do?
Yeah.
Okay, so narratively, you're going to get a +2 to break free on your next turn. He's going to fly. You're not using that as an attack of opportunity. You're using your reaction to try to aid yourself in the next event. He's going to fly up with the Fang Blade because he's got 15 feet. He's got more than enough to get up to you. I think you're only 20 feet above him at this point.
Correct.
Actually, you know what he's going to do? He is going to... Yeah, you know what? He's still going to use this. I think he's still going to use this. He's still going to use this Fang Blade. He likes his Fang Blade. So, yeah, he's going to come over to you, Snikt, with his Fang Blade and try to Fang Blade you.
Does he have hover?
He does not.
So that means he's going to actually have to fly by me then, right?
I would say yes. Do you have a melee weapon in your hand at the moment?
Scrap Heap does.
Okay.
Nice.
No problem. Take that shot.
All right. He's going to let loose with his pulse gauntlet. Oh! That one.
Give me a reflex save.
Me or Scrap Heap?
Scrap Heap.
All right.
You need a 10 to not fall off the building.
Nice. That's a 12 on a 18.
Yeah. He lashes out, and you can see him kind of like lose his grip a little as this crap ass building is kind of crumbly up top near the top. Yeah, and so he's able to kind of cling on to that as you kind of like, whoa. You feel like you're about to fall down and plummet 5 stories down below. But he is able.
Scrap Heap. Damn it.
He's going to come in and throw some damage at you, buddy, as he flies past. Whoosh!
No, it's not.
And he proceeds to land on the roof. That's going to bring us down to Luna. And as he's kind of doing this, Snikt, this is most unwise. And you can kind of see him have this big grin, and now that you're kind of in the light, you see him squinting really hard, but he has these kind of sort of like shark-like teeth lining all around his mouth, and it kind of gives him yes.
Tell me about it. That jackass always firing first. Talking later.
Luna, what are you doing?
Getting free. Is that acrobatics you said?
Acrobatics, madam.
+2 stats. 19.
21, that's enough.
Dope.
You are free with your move action.
There's a lot of people here.
What do you want to do?
She's gonna stay. She's just gonna turn around. Hello.
Hello there.
Hey, bud.
Okay, that's going to bring us down to Scrap Heap, who's going to go, and to Sander. Sander, what are you doing? Rulkaens is about to go here in just a minute. And you've just seen him knock Jett the F out.
I got chainsawed.
You got sword slapped, sir.
Oh.
Could have been worse.
I pull out a very... my turn, right?
You're going to pull out?
No, you pull out.
I pull out a very small, it looks like a derringer. Is Rulkaens aware of my presence? I mean, is he even bothered that I'm on the ground?
You are not stealthed or an unseen attacker for him.
Sure. But he's not really paying a huge amount of attention.
No, he's too busy going, "Ah!" And he doesn't even, like, he sees them pulling Jett away, and he's kind of got this big grin and smirk on his face, and he's kind of assessing the situation with his sword. Like, he's pissed, and he's about to he's about to get to beat people. One of his favorite activities.
Can I spend a resolve point to increase my roll?
No.
No.
You may not.
Okay. Well, then I make a attack where I delicately try to jab the most expensive needle that my character owns into his ankle. Says I hit.
Yeah, you do.
So he takes a d6 point of damage, which I'm not too worried about. But
Neither is he.
no, neither is he. Oh, it didn't do it for whatever reason. Why didn't it drag the damage onto him?
What is in this?
So he takes 1 point of damage. He then needs to give me a fortitude saving throw, if you please.
I'm sure he's terrible at these. What's the DC?
18.
Oh, it's about 50. Okay, it's more than 50.
Okie dokes.
What did you try to jab him with?
I just jabbed him with 2,500 worth of credits. That's what that drug costs. So, yep. There we
is it
go.
supposed to make him drowsy? Is it a venom? What is it?
No, it knocks him out for 1d4 hours.
Oh, neat. You see him kind of, and he's kind of shaking his head off. He looks down to see you, like, just brain in a jar, looking up with this needle.
Did the stimulant work? Do you feel better, sir?
Give me a fucking bluff check.
Nice!
Give me a hard bluff check. Give me a hard bluff check. No, fam.
Just
no.
remember, as an android, they have penalties to reading our emotional stuff,
I
right?
think it was 2, right?
Yeah, I think it's +2. So it's 21.
Or it's -2 to whatever he has to get to check, whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
-2 to sense motive.
I tell you what. Here's what I'll do. I'll. They don't have his sense motive up, but I'm almost positive it's. Oh, it might not be 9. Let's see. What's his bluff?
Cody,
You're not
real quick.
sure. You're not sure. He kind of looks down at you, and he kind of turns back up as he hears Strix shouting out the window and several shouts coming down the floor down below, and he kind of. Enough! And he's going to basically knock out Domino again.
Did you give him the 20 points of damage from my attack?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He's going to knock each of you out. So he's going to take -4 to hit Domino. Are you prone?
No, I'm standing up.
Okay, you're standing up. He's going to take a -4 to hit you. Okay, he's going to try to knock you out. So that's really a -8. That's a 24. That hits. Yeah, he's going to come in and do this. Yeah, so he's going to deal 17 points of non-lethal damage to you. Does that knock you out?
No.
Okay, he's going to do it again to a Sander. And he's basically just pissed off. At this point, he's just like, I'm tired of this. This is exhausting. And so he's going to come up with the -4. That's 23. I assume it hits. And he's going to deal 15 points to you as well.
Absorb SP.
You see the Enforcer is trying to stand up and knock out Luna. None of them are really interested. Were really interested and are excited about doing this. He's going to horn you, Luna. He's going to horn you for 24, which I assume hits, and he's going to deal some damage. He's going to do it again. Which would be a 23. Yes, and by the way, did a 20 hit your KAC? Or was
No.
it 21.
It's 21.
So that's the only hit that hits. That's the only one that hits. Then that's going to bring us to these guys who are going to, let's see if they finish breaking through the door. Yeah, they do. These guys are going to finish breaking through the door and come pouring into the room.
Dang.
Here's what I'm going to do, because this is about to get really bloody for you guys. This is about to get very bloody for you. The only bit of conflict that I think will not be resolved is Snikt up top on the roof. Snikt, you can see this Strix here can fly. You're kind of stuck on the roof, and the entire building is surrounded. Do you have a way that you are going to... What are you going to do next? Are you going to attempt to escape or go quietly? As the door finishes breaking down, the rest of these guys rush into the room. And for the sake of time here, this is turning into a very one-sided fight very quickly.
So what does he say to me?
Jett's
Other
already
than
knocked out.
this isn't wise.
That's what he says to you. This isn't wise. And he kind of waits for your retort.
Well, I kind of did. I was like, called Jacob a jackass, or Jett, I should say.
Fuck you, Jacob.
Yeah, I agree. A jackass Jett. Just started shooting. Everyone started shooting. What do you want to do? And Scrap Heap is holding 2 guns and a pulse gauntlet, and I'm holding my tri-laser.
He kind of holds his fang blade up and points to you, and he points down at your guns, and he kind of flicks his wrist and motions to the side of the roof.
That's not necessary. I can just put them away. If you stop stabbing me, I'll stop shooting.
Why are you going to make this difficult? I'm not going to be able to take you in armed, obviously, based off of. And he kind of points back down to the room where you are hearing a whole bunch of extra shouting and voices come from that area, as you believe that it kind of sounds like they may have broken through. And as you don't see any of your crewmates had jumped out the window, you believe them to all still be inside and getting overwhelmed.
It's going to take me like an hour to take these guns off. They're mounted on arms.
The charges. And he kind of flicks to the side again.
Man, they cost a lot of cheddar. How about I just hand them to you?
He kind of waits.
So I take off the charge packs and push them out in front.
So here's my question: Are you going to try to keep any, or are you going to legitimately let them go?
So I actually have like the mega ultra packs that like are 100 shots. So they're big blocks. But I also just have like one of the small regular ones. Can I say I just keep that in my pouch?
You have a small regular. So give me a. It wouldn't be a sleight of hand because you're not really taking it. Give me a straight up bluff check. Let's see if this guy believes you. Give me a straight up bluff check.
I thought you said love check.
Give me a love check, David.
There's already a lot of
Show
love.
me some love, baby.
Love check.
That is just a straight die roll.
That's just a straight die roll? Yeah. He doesn't take it or ask for it. Nor does he search you. And a few moments later, moments, not like seconds, like a few moments later, you can see the rest of some of this gang here from the Gore Born come rushing up to the roof. They immediately manacle you, throw a bag over your head, and start uncharging Scrap Heap.
Again with the bag over the head.
For those of you down below, the scene that happened after the door broke free was pretty rough. In essence, as the door finished breaking free, the remainder of the Gore Born came in and just immediately started slamming and pummeling all of you. Luna included. Jett, they beat up on you even though you were already knocked out. And so for the rest of you guys, you are give me fort saves, DC 20.
I will offer to heal everybody, them included, specifically, as I'm a doctor.
Oh,
I didn't.
through all chatter, they're coming in and they're just beating on you. They're just absolutely beating on all of you guys. I mean, you attacked their leader, and you can kind of hear him, "Take them back. We will find out where Lacia went, and we will find the information on where Oasis is. No deals."
Luna can't drop her knives because they're stuck to her hands, which is why they beat her even more mercilessly, and she's just taking her hands, freaking out.
So Jett, you were already knocked out. God, none of you guys. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm just gonna tell you, all of you guys are brought to the brink of, or you're all brought unconscious. All of you guys are brought unconscious. The only person that is conscious during this whole travel is Snikt, who was taken in though you were kind of handled pretty roughly. They don't actually like beat you to the point where you lose unconscious. You're still getting bound and dragged and stuffed in a couple of quick speeders. But for the most part, you're awake for all this with the bag over your head. Because of... this is how stupid some of them are. Because of how bright it is here in Haven Shield, and it is even though it's a world ship, it's set to be like there's no luscious green trees and stuff like that. There's not awesome clouds and stuff like that in the sky. It's bright. It's dirt. It's not quite a desert, but like as close as you could be without being desert. It's very Texas in August, if you will. And so they begin to kind of to speed you guys away. And what you can see from all of this is that you can actually see like kind of a little bit of an idea on where they're taking you. You know that they're taking you to kind of the outskirts of town, based off of I'm getting a call from Shanghai. All right, neat. Stupid robot callers. They actually take you to kind of the outskirts of town, but you're on the far north. So you know that when you were initially brought in by the Warhounds, you were not like bound over or anything along those lines. So you know that the Rogue Infinity, the ship itself, is in the southeast quadrant. So they seem to be taking you far away from the action and far away from where you guys were trying to get a bit of rest here in the Ramshackle before everything went down with Jett. As they take you in, you can see them, Snikt, bring you into kind of this cold, damp room. You can tell, as they've pulled the bag off of your head at this point, that it must be some sort of refrigeration unit because of the way that the walls are lined and the way that it's suddenly artificially cool in here.
Cheddar, there's never a 5-star hotel. Never.
Your friends are not here. You don't see any of them, any of the crew.
Those idiots are probably dead. And there's no one in here with me. I'm just in a freezer box.
It's just you in this refrigerator box, and you know that this is probably not going to be very good for you for very long.
Is there a control panel?
Nothing from the inside. And they have, in essence, I know you do have a toolkit kind of built into your arm. I believe it's part of your cybernetics. Where is that kit specifically, Snikt?
I have what is it? The hyper jack. It's probably in my neck. I pull it. It's like I pull out a cable to interface and stuff.
It's built into your neck. That's pretty cool. I like that. So you can pull out like a long vein and interface with stuff. You don't see any panels on the inside for the most part. This just looks to be a pretty straightforward unit. You do see a small, and I mean small, like maybe 8.5, 9 inches of like a big vent way up at the top being poured into here. All around on the floor is like cold and wet and some sort of like slimy sludge. And then there are places at the top where they could maybe hang something from the interior of this metal box.
So is it any way for me to get to those hooks to try and get up to that vent?
They're probably 12 feet high. Do you have a way to maybe try to climb up there? The vent is only probably about 10 feet off the floor.
I could try athletics and try and climb.
The problem is that the wall, there's literally
walls
nothing
are
to climb on.
smooth.
Yeah, they're so sheen, and because it's already kind of damp in here with these small little pools of water spread out all over the floor, it might be a little difficult. The rest of you, each of you begin to kind of come to in your own ways. For Luna, what they have done is they seem to have attached you up with chains. Like they are physically hanging you off of a ceiling. You are in a completely different room. It's not cold in this room. It appears to be some form of maybe a warehouse or something along those lines, maybe a storage facility. And you are being hung all the way from the ceiling, attached to your ankles so that you can't flip up. They've tied like several bits of like scrap metal, like literal just junk, pieces of maybe like a speeder or a transport or something along those lines in further chains to prevent you from being able to kind of like pull yourself up and do anything with the chains. And so they have you basically bound high and tall, dangling a few feet off the floor. For Jett, it's pretty rough on you. Being the fleshiest one here, besides the Soki, who is too small for this, you find what is probably traditionally their form of torture and holding out any or intimidation or whatever you want to call it for this pirate gang of warhounds. They've simply put you in a spiked collar. It's simple, it's effective, it's ancient, it doesn't have any technology to hack. It is just hard metal pressed into your neck. That's it. and they have you kind of sitting down on a chair. And the way that this is attached is it's basically like attached to the back of the chair, so that you can't really lean or move or do much without having these things kind of jab into your neck and cut into you. Both Domino and Asander have been given the same treatments, as both of you actually apparently they ran out a little bit of a room here. You guys are simply hooked up to large electrical currents in a manner that is supposedly supposed to be painful for you guys. A lot of your parts and bits in your arms have been opened up and checked for weapons, syringes. I mean, you're an android. They're not, this is not a foreign technology for them. They understand how that works. And so as you guys wake up, most of your arms and legs and any of your mechanical body parts are really kind of spread out and open as you're kind of hooked up to this voltage.
Are we all conscious?
This is how each of you kind of wake up.
All right. Do I see them?
You actually see Luna. Luna is the only one that you guys are kind of in the same room. And so are the two androids. Okay. So you kind of have the two androids kind of hooked up in one area of this sort of warehouse. You can see bits of light peeking in from the glass that's placed really high to kind of bring in a little bit of this daylight outside. Luna is probably about 30 or 40 feet from you, and she's kind of set across.
I will look up. Well, I can't really move my neck, but I will. If I know she's there, I will yell out and just say, Luna, I'm sorry. I got us in this mess. They should let all of you free. All they need is me. Doesn't look very comfortable from up there. Oh, fuck.
I'm fine. I'm just hanging out.
That's great. Do you know how everybody else is?
Hello? Louder than before.
You can kind of like dangle and you kind of like swing yourself with these chains to kind of look to the side as you see a little bit of like a walkway over there. It has bits of strands of some sort of like soft plastic that they could kind of push their way through, basically to seal the air off from one area to the next. You're realizing that a lot of the technology here is very antiquated. This is not an up-to-date, amazing warehouse here. This is very, very antiquated technology. And you can kind of see one of those noir, horned, bull-like looking men kind of lean forward. This one's awake! Both of them are awake! Get Rulkaens!
I can't do anything. I'm assuming I can't do anything.
Luna was like, I look around. Is there anything else that you're doing here, Luna?
If I can roll like a perception or something to see if I see what I see.
Yeah.
Because she's immediately like, how many people are there? Where am I? Like, as far as like spatially towards an exit and our friends around.
Your memory banks are fantastic. And so you recognize that this is not one of the previous men or noir that you had encountered back at the Ramshackle. You notice that this is somebody totally different. So whatever numbers you originally thought, here's someone with different markings. You kind of can zoom in and see it.
Can I make a perception check?
Yeah, what are you looking for?
I want to gain my bearings and see if there's anything out of place, anything that I see. Not like necessarily trying to escape. I just want to know what's going on.
So you want to take in the context.
Yep.
Okay, so the context, you can see that you've been taken to a place that looks like it hasn't been in operation for quite some time. That would hint at the fact that, nobody's going to walk in that doesn't know what's going on here.
Okay.
You might be able to yell and make some noises, but, that's kind of hit or miss. This is a very large area. You can even see a small ice box. And you kind of are kind of looking around at some of the hooks and machines, and it looks like at one point this place processed some sort of animal or meat as a sort of butcher.
I'm assuming I'm chained up on a wall.
No, you're not chained up on you're sitting in like this chair that
Oh,
has this very old school, can't hack it, not computer type of situation that you're just put in this big pointed.
Am I like in the middle of the warehouse, or am I like tucked into a corner?
Yeah, no, you're relatively in the middle of this room.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's kind of what you're seeing. You two androids kind of wake up at the same time. You guys are not far from each other as well. You seem to be isolated from everyone else, though. In addition to seeing Domino, Sander, you also see a table filled with all of your gear, all of the armors, all of the weapons, the grenades, the charging units. You also see a scrap pile of scrap heap placed out on this table, but you do not see Snikt. In addition to that, there are two of these Noir kind of digging through all this stuff, and kind of one of them actually has a clipboard, and they seem to be kind of inventorying it.
How long have we been out?
You know what? Give me give me an intelligence check.
Sure. Do I feel like I'm fully rested? How do I? Oh, it's +2.
No, you are not fully rested.
That's okay.
Based off of where the sun is coming in from this place, you can tell that you've probably been out for maybe about an hour or so with your additional mechanics. In
Either an hour,
we're hooked up to
26 hours.
I figure androids should probably have an internal clock, wouldn't they?
I mean, I don't know. Who knows?
You've been out for 1 hour and 27 minutes and 43 seconds.
Have you tried restarting?
And we are hooked up to a generator.
Yes.
Perfect. Great. I get all my spells back.
You might.
No, I do. I have the feat energized spell. Well, it's not a feat. It's the fucking, what do you call it? Magic hack. That if I can take the charge of something and use it to recharge my spell slots. So I see a scrap heap. I see the ruins of scrap heap. I see the good doctor here and two of these Tauren guys.
We'll call them Tauren. Sure.
Trademarked. And we are. What are we chained up by? Like an actual chain, rope? What's the situation?
This is very old school. You guys are basically bound. After seeing 3 androids and a dude with a robot on his back, they thought maybe we should go old school here, and so they went very, very old school in how they actually have fastened you and tied you down to these areas.
Okay. What does this battery look like? This generator?
This looks like it has been pulled out of some sort of transport, maybe a mid-sized transport, not like a ship or anything like that, but a pretty sizable vehicle, maybe about the size of to give you some relative, it might be about something used for like a large bus.
Okay.
Or like a freighter or something like that, like a
just
small freighter.
Like we're like episode 1 of Archer. We're just tied up and we're getting zapped by a car battery.
You haven't been. You haven't felt anything yet. Nobody has actually been tortured yet. It appears you guys have mostly just been taken in.
Okay, but we are hooked up to it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, fantastic. That makes even more sense.
It's meant in a way that is meant to be painful to androids.
Right.
Knowing that you believe them to want to overcharge you.
Got it.
Which could be dangerous for your internals.
If anyone is listening, torture is completely irrelevant. I'll tell you everything. I really don't like pain at all. You just ask. I'll happily tell you the access codes. I'll give you the information.
You see him kind of turn around. This one. We didn't even have to do anything.
Nope, you don't at all. As a matter of fact, if any of you have got any injuries or maladies or any kind of psychoses, I'd be happy to consult and treat at no cost either. Free medical. I mean, that's a bonus lifetime.
Can I hear him?
How loud are you being, Sander?
Very loud.
Yes.
Is he in the same room with me?
No. They kind of have the sort of like half walls here. Like this is like a big, large. Imagine like a gymnasium with
Got
like
it.
half walls put up to
Okay.
separate
I
several
will-
studios or something like
I
that.
will also yell out and say, "No, it's just him. Whatever you want to know, I'll tell you."
I can also help.
You can kind of see them all like, really? Just like that? And you see them kind of like look nervously over at each other like, what are we being set up here? They kind of think for a moment. And then a few moments after that, you can see Rulkaens and Strix and several other of these enforcers come into the room. The place where they enter in first is with Asander and Domino. So, you see him kind of like pulling up and taking off several of his armaments, kind of rolling it up a little bit. You're gonna tell me everything, right?
To the letter, without any reservation.
Where is Lacia?
Not here.
What did she take from King Corvallis exactly?
No idea.
We
What
have
does
as
the
yet
key
to
look
speak
like?
with the king.
We don't know.
Let's try this a different way. What exactly did Lacia tell you in her message that was encrypted?
I know.
If you must know, it was directed specifically to me.
You?
Ah.
Why?
I'm not actually an android. I'm human. But it's a complicated story. You have to believe me. We're lovers, or at least I was in love with her, and I've been hounding her for years. You can check my logs. I'll
And
give
you
you the
can hear
access
everybody
code.
else like nervously like, like laughing along with their boss, who
Nice.
is kind of
Love letters are quite well written, if I do say so myself. And that last transmission was sent by her to me, telling me to not contact her anymore as she was no longer interested.
Why did she tell you to come to Havenshield if she was leaving?
She didn't. We detected that the transmission came from here, and I convinced my crewmates, unfortunately, mostly mental patients, as you can clearly see,
Give me a bluff check.
to bring me here. So bluff might be appropriate if he didn't believe anything that he's just said, but he was madly in love with Lacia.
But she did tell you to come to Havenshield.
She did. That is true. That is true. That is
She told
that
you
is
to come
the
to Havenshield to meet up with Beetle.
Yes,
Because
he
she had
does
found
believe
Oasis.
that they are mentally deficient, though. So I'm. All right, bluff check it is. Here we go.
Give me a bluff check, Android.
Human.
Nice.
Okay.
You can check my logs. The love letters are all there.
He looks over immediately, Domino. Is that true?
Do you think I read private correspondence?
Yes.
Answer
I
the
assume you did.
question. Is that true?
As far as I know.
I see. I'm gonna go talk to the pretty boy. He turns,
He won't talk without the
and you
robot.
guys can see a few different lights go off in this place. And you kind of follow up some of the cables along the walls, and you can see that they're hooked up to some sort of security system. It's like you didn't necessarily notice it at first, but it's obvious now that there's some sort of security system here. And there's several different lights and different screens that are kind of built into several of the panels here. Originally, you probably thought that they were part of the building or the warehouse or the meat processing plant or whatever this was. But they do look quite a bit newer. And you can see these begin to flash. And you hear a ding, 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 like little weird horns blowing, almost like a musical instrument. And you can see on the screen suddenly that same bald man that you saw at The same bald man that you guys saw originally in the Blood Court, with the sort of missing, the sort of missing different cybernetics that have been removed. Shaved eyebrows, absolutely no hair, nothing on his face. Very strange looking man. King Corvallis has received a message and would like to speak with Rulkaens. And Rulkaens, you can see kind of like he's at the doorway getting ready to leave, and he looks like kind of like he looks definitely off. He kind of goes over to one of the screens. What are you doing, Bentham? Huh. Well, it appears that you have a few of our guests. See, we received word that you found something interesting on the Rogue Infinity. Something that you withheld from us, which you should not have done. And you kind of see the screen flash and then flash back on. And stepping onto the screen is another beautiful bald man. No hair on his eyebrows, no hair on the top of his head, no hair on his chin, with a very long neck that is adorned with several golden rings, and he has golden sort of piercings and cybernetics all the way down his ears, and they actually kind of link up behind and pierce into the front into his eyebrows. My dearest Rulkaens, I am terribly concerned and distressed to have heard that my very honored guests, who had done so well in the Blood Court, were actually going to miss my dinner party. You see, I had personally invited them to learn more about them. And then Bentham, he tells me that you found the encryption code from my little thief aboard their ship. But you've collected them and taken them off into your little hideaway. So we're coming for them. We're coming for them right now. Good luck. And the screen goes blank.
Oh, you're so screwed. Oops.
You can immediately see panic among all of the men here. They are absolutely losing it. Who gave them away? What did you see? I don't know. Where are they? And they're beginning to call out orders. Hey, you go so-and-so. You go so-and-so. You got to the front side. We've got to check. I've got 3 coming up on the back center. Like, they're calling out all these different directions while you guys are kind of locked up and chained here. The good news is that not many of them are paying attention. That is when you, Jett, hear a little voice in your head.
It's Beetle. Are you ready to leave?
Yes.
Stay calm. Look
Okay.
up. Look up. Look up.
Ow!
And you begin to kind of like look up, and you can see there's a actual like duct system from the air conditioning system. And staring down through one of the grates, clear as day, is a Sheeran. There's this sort of bug-like Sheeran man with sort of twitching mandibles and his long antennae, and he's communicating with you, something that you've had happen many times.
Oh, yeah. I know Sheeran.
Communicating with Sheeran. And
like a dog, I can't look up.
Hang on. Let's wait for them to clear out.
And you can kind of see, like, the rest of the guys are sort of clearing out and taking up positions. And he begins to kind of, like, lower down this little rope. It's real thin. And you can see him kind of pull out and drop down what looks like 50 little beetles, little mechanical beetles that begin to descend down this long rope down onto you. They begin to crawl all up and around you, Jett, and eventually you hear the, like, kink as you are released.
Yeah. Can I stand?
Yeah, and there's no one around.
Do I see my stuff anywhere?
You do not.
Fuck. I look up at him and I'm like, guns. Also my friends.
And you see him kind of like, and he begins to kind of like thunk, 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 thunk through the top of the air duct system.
I'm gonna go to like one of the side walls and like peer over the side, see if I can see Domino and Sander.
It takes you a moment because you kind of look over from this main room and you don't see them, but you can see a few guys cutting out from one of the rooms as the rest of the lights in this sort of opened warehouse begin to kind of light up and go red. You can hear most of them pushing towards the back to either escape or make some sort of stand.
I'm gonna do my best to try to find them.
Yeah. While he is doing that, Luna, you feel like click, click, click as the tops of your chains hanging you from the ceiling begin to sort of break open and slowly pull and then drop you down to the floor.
Nice.
Okay. There was a table in here with all of our stuff on it.
Not in this room, but in a Sander and Domino's room. There was.
She's going to take one of these chains, wrap part of it around her hand, and then hold the other end so it doesn't drag on the ground. And she gets up next to Jett and says, "Well, fun's over." And she just makes like the chain sound. How far is the nearest person?
You don't see. I mean, the nearest person would be Jett, kind of leaving and looking for a Sander and Domino.
I would look over
unless you are trying to find some of the noirs.
She followed Jett. She's standing next to him.
Okay, yeah.
If you're next to me, I'm going to turn and look at you and say, "Are you all right?"
Yes.
Okay, we need to find.
That was obvious.
And we need to get out of here. Well,
Do you want a weapon? And she pulls up like a piece of metal, like a chunk of scrap metal.
Nice. Okay, we're going to have to get through here and try to find them. I don't know where they are. I heard them. I heard a Sander who's being very loud.
With Luna at your side, it won't take you guys very long to find a Sander and Domino. There's not very many. Most of these rooms are pretty big rooms. And, you kind of look at it like, dude, did they even try? These walls in this fucking warehouse don't even go all the way to the ceiling.
Yeah.
But it's obviously, those are just up, and they just tried to separate you for some kind of questioning. Not terribly successfly. In a matter of moments, you find Domino and a Sander.
Okay, as soon as we find him, are they free?
Not
while
yet.
while you were looking for us, did the guys left the room, right, Cody?
Yeah, they split.
Yeah, so as soon as they split and we hear that the king is coming or whatever, Domino grabs onto whatever's holding them, whatever's tying them up, right? And I'm using the spell Fabricate Scrap. So you just see like green light come out of his hand as nanobots begin to break down the material that is binding them and going up to the battery and breaking it down and reassembling it into usable scrap for him to make another robot out of. But it just deteriorates all the chains that are holding him. And he kind of walks over to a Sander and goes, "Oh, you're still there." And he reaches down and does the same thing to his chains.
I will burst in. I don't know if there's doors. As soon as I find them, I'm immediately relieved. And I walk over and I'm like, "Are you guys all right?"
Yes, I was making a new robot.
You are far from being all right, Domino. I have to put my foot down now, Captain. This charade has gone long enough.
I'm sorry. This was a terrible mistake on my part. I almost got us all killed.
I would like to point out Domino was actually technically dead. He was dying and will be again shortly if I don't treat your injuries. Android or not, you are not immortal. Nope, you have synthetic
Snikt?
you have to care
We
for.
don't know where he is.
We don't
Where
have
is
much
Snikt?
time.
What?
We should go find him.
You guys see scrap heap in a big scrap heap on the table next to the rest of your gear. So you guys can either take
Go
a
get
few
on my gear.
moments to don all of your armors and stuff. You can certainly do that. Meanwhile, Snikt, you kind of hear this little... You're hearing something go outside, and you can kind of hear the seal being broken on the refrigerator unit. You've been in here for a very unpleasant 40 minutes after having arrived here. But the door is open.
I will shuffle towards the door.
You see like a string of little beetles, little mechanical beetles, like coming, like marching almost like a line of ants, if you will. And they slide over and point into an arrow. and kind of points you in a direction.
I'll follow it. His brain is frozen. He can barely think.
It doesn't take you long before you are hearing the psychic communications of Beetle. Look up! Grab on!
Is there a rope or something or a cable?
There is a very thin little, like almost not quite a fiber optic cable, but like it's a string, dude. It's a string. You're like, this is a string.
I'll grab one.
You'll grab onto it. It immediately begins to kind of glove over you and spread, and you can hear like a sort of line being reeled in as it is pulling you and raising you up into the AC duct.
Nice.
You got any warm hands?
He just like holds up his two little half hands at the thing, and he kind of makes a like, sorry gesture.
We need to find the trash chute. Do you know where it is?
I can tell you where the freezer is. That's the only thing I saw.
The rest of you, are you returning back to this main room and trying to find your way into the air ducts as well, or are you going somewhere else?
I'm looking for Snikt.
Okay, you're looking for Snikt. That'll take you close enough to psychic speech to him.
We need to find the trash chute.
We need to
It should
find
be on the
Snikt.
west side of the building.
All right. Need the rest of our team, though.
I have the Yosoki.
You do?
Yes.
Is he alive?
Yes.
Ask him what his favorite color is.
What's your favorite color?
Frack you, Jett.
What'd he say?
He said something I'm not going to repeat.
Did he tell me to fuck myself?
Yes.
All right, you found him. All right, let's go. And I'm gonna start making my way to the west of the building.
You guys push to the west side of the building, and you can like see the dents. Before it was very stealthy, right? It was very stealthy. You know, he uses extra. Like, dude, this was him trying to like sneak in, but now all hell's broken loose, and he's trying to move pretty quickly while he searches up top and stays out of sight. You guys find the west side of the building. You can see the dum 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 from Beetle kind of like making his way through the vents, and he drops open. You guys find a trash chute.
Before we go down it, can I throw out some healing to people? Because I know people are still wounded quite badly.
You can do whatever you so choose. Snikt, for the first time, you see Scrap Heap, and he is a big pile of Scrap Heap. He's a big Scrap Heap at the moment.
I go over and he grabs it and he starts dragging it. It's bigger than he is.
It's not. I mean, this is not permanently damaged. It's not been shot or beat up or banged.
Domino had made a heal bot. Domino made a heal bot and put it on it. It's just pushing. It's floating Scrap Heap along.
All you people and your fucking robots. You're gonna throw out some healing damage.
Yep. It's a sad day for
Domino, you get back 10.
Ooh, boy.
Luna, you are bleeding, right? You take a hit point damage.
She's okay.
All right, now for you, Captain.
Heal Luna first.
She doesn't
Aren't
look
you
like
like
she was
dying yet?
Yeah, but
Egg
Right.
back to you. Do you still need more? You still look like you're wounded?
We
what is
don't
that?
have time for this.
I'm gonna start jumping into the trash heap as soon as he does it. I'm gonna say, "We gotta go. We can heal later."
Yeah, he's basically pushing.
Going to
pushing
get
you in.
infected.
Yeah, you might get some disease, especially in this planet. Yeah,
Tetanus.
you slide down a large yellow chute into the most disgusting and sickening smell you have. I mean, just unbelievable. Just coated, Jett. Just down into it, and you can hear it as you're like, why is it so slimy and gross? As the decay and filth protect your fall.
Nasty. Very gross.
In front of you, however, is two sort of long crafts, these sort of speed crafts. They're sort of like it's like an 8-road car, if you will, with the big windshield on the front and the rest of it kind of all open. And sitting at the driver controls for one of these is this sort of all silvered robot with these two big red eyes, and he goes, "Hello.
Hi.
I think we're leaving."
Yeah, yep, yeah. And I walk over and I get on. And I'm like, come on, guys, we gotta go.
Do the rest of you guys follow down?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
As you guys, you can hear him. "Oh, joy. It appears that everyone has made it out safely. My name is F5TAR10. You may call me Starlo."
All right, skip tutorial. Can we go?
Skipping tutorial. You see him kind of shift
Wait, maybe I
back
should have
over.
done that.
Just ignore him. We've got to make it back to the Rogue Infinity. I've got a plan.
We're going back to the Rogue Infinity. All right, great. Yeah, you were the contact that we were supposed to meet up with. I think they're trying to find you and kill you or something. I don't know. But
Yeah, you did a great job with that, let me tell you.
Yeah, sorry.
Let's just say you owe me big time.
Yeah, definitely.
But I've got
alive.
this.
And he holds up a little data pad.
That's a data pad.
Right. This is the paperwork for the auction from the Blood Court.
All right.
I've got good news and bad news. The good news is you're all alive. The bad news is King Corvallis knows that Lacia reached out to you and that he thinks you're the way to find Oasis.
Well, then
and
we
we've
should
got to
just
get
get out of
to
here,
the Rogue
right?
Infinity before we die.
Yeah, good idea. It's been the plan the whole time.
You guys,
That's matter more drift.
you guys begin to speed off into the distance on these two speeders, flying and ripping through the streets. You are heading to the southeast as fast as you possibly can. You realize that Beetle is missing a few little bits and pieces of his exoskeleton in certain areas, and that he's had quite a few shots. It looks like he's kind of been chomped and chewed on by a big dog, a little bit, and so you're kind of getting an idea on why that might be the case, as he proceeds to just moment after moment, just narrowly avoid running over somebody and just dodging under a large walking creature and missing a cart here, turning, scraping the side of one building with sparks going flying off the side. You kind of are afraid to look down. You kind of naturally just see all of these burn marks and dents and ripples into this speeder as you guys fly through the city, cutting turn after turn after turn.
We've got to stay low.
Just not too low.
Are we all piloting these, or is it just one that we're all
This is
attached
no,
to?
they're on two. For those of you guys on Starlo's ship, he's keeping up, but at a remarkably graceful pace. He's able to just kind of zip through, and he can see his boss Beetle kind of ripping down the streets, banging and crashing into stuff. And he's got the reflexes of the android. Mathematically, he's like, "Oh, cool!" And you guys are doing kind of nice little swoops, and it's just nice and peaceful as you guys make your way to the streets. And you fly all the way down until you make it to the docks here for Haven Shield.
All right.
You can see several of these large pods have been spread out in this sort of deserty-like area towards the end, and it kind of looks like there's a bunch of, it forks off like a trident into 3 different paths, and each of those paths fork off into these little star-like bubbles on the end. And each of those, of course, naturally have several different starships in them. Some of them are empty, but these are the docks.
Captain, if King Corvallis believes that we have what he requires, we might be able to get to the ship, but I'm not certain that the security will allow us to depart. Perhaps.
Right, but what? You have an idea?
I was simply about to suggest that perhaps you don't try and shoot anybody this time.
That's a great idea. You know what? Just to make sure that doesn't happen because I get a little trigger happy, take my guns, and I hand them over to Sander.
Domino,
Oh,
you're
buddy.
more qualified. I hand them to Domino.
Oh, neat. And he just takes them and he does like the spin, and then he puts them down and drops them because there's no holsters there. my bad, sir.
Nice try. Yeah. I won't. Diplomacy all the way. Maybe bluff. We'll see. And I'm gonna. Do I see our ship?
You can see the Rogue Infinity on the far right dock set.
Right,
Before that is several different laser gates that have been set up to kind of prevent people from rushing up to any of these ships. And you can hear in your head Beetle kind of look over. Your ship was auctioned.
Uh-oh.
No. It was auctioned to Yelda. I
I don't know
found
who that
him
is.
in the hotel. I was coming to meet you, and that's when I saw the Gore Born and whatever those warhounds coming in, and so I recorded the conversation. That's the bad news I was trying to tell you earlier.
Oh, shit.
I saw them taking you, and I thought maybe I should tell King Corvallis and then break you out, which was the plan. So
That
it
was a
worked,
great plan.
but also they know. They know. The thing
So-
you didn't want to know, yeah, they all know now.
Are we gonna steal our ship back? What are we doing here?
No. Hopefully, they won't know. These are just dock workers. They don't work for the warhounds.
Oh, good. We can just walk right on then.
I'm gonna walk right on.
What are we gonna do?
Me.
Oh,
me
wait,
too.
yeah, you can walk on too.
Yeah.
Or do you want to do it? No, wait, they probably saw you on the blood court.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, no, I can do this, and I'll go to my comm thing.
Isn't this
on
the
my-
part where you come up with part of the plan?
Well, hang on, and I will change my appearance to look like that of a old human man with a big white beard and long hair. And I say, "There we go. I can look like this, and then they'll never know."
Cody, how far are we from the ship?
I would say you're 200 yards. You're 2 football fields.
Dude,
And we're in-
what the fuck does that mean?
And we're in the future, right?
You're
This space
2
future.
football fields, Jacob.
What's I
I'm
don't
from
watch
California. They don't have
football.
football there.
Can I use quick disguise?
They have the most teams of any state.
Regardless.
Yes, what would you like to do, Lauren?
Use quick disguise?
Yes, you may do that. What would you like your disguise to quickly look like as you guys kind of pull up?
Abraham Lincoln.
Perfect.
Done.
Her imagination.
As
Done.
Blue Beetle is doing his thing and he's yelling at Jett to come up with the second half of the plan. Domino goes, oh, I know, and he like reaches onto his data pad, and you just hear boop boop, and the lights flash on the vehicle as he unlocks it. I feel like as the comms officer, he's got the key fob.
I thought you were talking about your fucking speeder. You were talking about the ship.
The ship.
The ship goes boop.
Yeah, like when you unlock your car
It sure fucking does.
and the headlights flash.
I'm so glad we had that.
Is that why you asked how far?
Yeah.
What were you going to say no matter what he said? Did you have a specific number in your head that's like, this is the distance that I can unlock my car?
Well, I feel like in real life it's like a good 10 feet, but I feel like in space that's a good 200 yards. Yeah, and if it was like a mile away, it wouldn't work. A mile's unreasonable.
Right? When it's a mile away.
I'm surprisingly
I have to
okay with
hold
the
it.
answer you just gave.
Oh my god.
Oh, I know. Click, click.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
I remember. Boop, boop.
I'm gonna start making my way towards the Rogue Infinity.
Yep. All right. As you begin, there's a few different gateways set up with personnel. You come up to sort of like frumpy-looking, long-nosed, blue-skinned man with 4 different little wings. 2 of them actually on the sides of his arms, which is kind of strange to see. And he's sort of kind of like doing this, and he's like doubling up the motion, and he's also got 2 wings kind of on the tops of his shoulders, and so he's kind of like floating there. Yes, what's up? What do you?
I'm
what's
just
on?
going
This is not your ship. What are you? what are you doing?
Yes, I have the paperwork on a data pad.
Oh, great! You've got the paperwork. Has
Oh,
it been
yes.
signed?
What?
Has it been signed already? Did you get it from auction? Is that where you got this from?
Yes, it's been signed. You got it from auction.
Who did you talk to in auction? Okay, let me see. Let me see.
Here you go. I don't know how these newfangled things work.
Can I
Luna
hack
bumps
the
into
datapad?
the back of Jett and just, oh, didn't see you there. And just looks.
Oh, it's good. It's all right.
Oh, okay. What's the holdup?
He's
I
got
mentioned
to
you
check
have
my
it.
signage or something.
Oh, so
You not hear the beep beep?
We've got the key. See, that's all you need.
which one of you is Wagner? Is that
That's
you?
me.
Or
I'm
you?
Wagner. Mm-hmm.
Cody, can I hack the datapad to make the documents official?
Yeah, you may aid in this. So I'm gonna let you aid in this.
Okay.
So here's what I want you to do. I want you to just beat a simple DC 15 to help them.
All right, done.
Okay.
I can't get less than a 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is Starfinder, so you can fail. I think a skill check.
Okay,
35.
35.
You're okay. It's good enough to help.
You
Jesus
fail.
Christ. Jesus Christ. I forgot the Starfinder. Make your DCs way higher. Jett, give me a
Yes.
bluff check.
Check.
Give me a bluff check at +4.
Okay.
40. So he rolls
Close.
39.
39.
This guy doesn't care. He does not care. He just kind of looks down. Fine. Do you have your ID? You have your
Well,
ID on you? Let's just make sure it matches up real quick, and I'll let you in.
I think I carry around my ID. It's on my damn ship.
You've got to have your ID so I can match it with the paperwork, sir.
All right. And I go
Or
fumbling
maybe
through
you
my
don't have
pockets.
to. Or maybe you don't have to.
Yeah. Oh, I understand.
I mean, if it's all the way back there.
Of course, I get it. I know what you want. And I pull out my cred stick, and I just say, "Where should I put this?"
You pull out what?
My cred stick.
And he kind of looks down.
I can tell you where to put it.
You only have one port, Domino.
I don't have any ports.
I don't have any ports. Yeah, he hands the device over and kind of quickly like flips up one corner of it and does a quick slide, and you can see like he's basically taken some of the credits off it. You don't know how much. You just know that he took some credits. Thank you for having your ID, sir. I appreciate it. There's your vehicle. Make sure that all of the weapons, of course, have been disabled as long as you're in system because you bought it from auction. You want to make sure that you're fully functioning when you leave the system. And he starts going in through like several different things. Like it's like a rental car place at this point.
Luna pretends to fall asleep standing up while he's talking.
Thank you. Oh, thank you very much. And then I shake his hand. And then
Is that your vehicle as well? All right, we'll tell him, come on, let's bring it in here. We'll get the gates open. He comes over to a data pad, ding, 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 and you can see some of the laser gates begin to kind of go down into the walkway, and the hatch opens up over the top for the starship, for the Rogue Infinity, the beautiful Rogue Infinity, which you guys have not seen.
very
in a
quickly
couple
get on
minutes.
board. I
Just
hold my
sprint like an old
hand.
man. You just LeBron James it. Yeah, you guys. So as you begin doing that, you can kind of see him like looking back, and he's like, "Whatever, I don't care." At this point, you can hear his comm system go off, and in fact, each of your own personal comm systems go off. On there, you see Luna's face, Jett's face, flashes over Domino's face. It shows a brain in a jar. It shows a beetle, or it shows a Shirin that looks like it's been chewed up by a large dog. And a small Yusoki riding around on what can only be described as his spider mount.
Oh, hey, that's me.
Go. Maybe we should get going. Guys, come on, let's go.
On there pops Bentum's face. Please be on the lookout for these 6 individuals. They are wanted by King Corvallis for dinner. They are esteemed guests of Haven Shield, and we do not wish any ill wills to befall them. A reward shall be offered for their safe return. Thank you for your time. All hail King Corvallis.
You think we'll get a reward if we turn ourselves in?
You see the guy kind of like stopping, and he looks back over at you guys. Who was not in a disguise? Luna, you were disguised as Abraham Lincoln, right? And Domino, you were not disguised. And Snikt was not disguised. The brain in the jar is the thing that probably jogs his memory the most. And he kind of looks down, and you guys are getting onto the ship and unloading and running up the ramps, and you can see him. Hey! 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 And he's like kind of pointing out and hollering.
I'm gonna needle him.
What? What is
I'm gonna needle him.
Yes!
Make an attack roll. Make an
Tranquilize
attack
him!
roll.
They're guru.
Roofie that ofo.
No!
Oh no!
That's the perfect roll.
That is the perfect roll.
Please,
You
Roofie
see
that
him
instead.
fire off, or like you fire off at him, and you see him sort of duck, and he's like, "It is them!" And you can see him kind of like run over, and he is running towards like one of those large emergency shutdowns.
Can I shoot him again?
Pew, 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 pew. I don't have my guns.
You're not running.
Can
on
I
the
just
ramp?
shut the door?
Are the rest of you guys on the ship yet?
Yeah, we're running on the ship.
I went on the ship.
You can see Starlo begin to run onto the ship as well as Beetle. Yeah, Sander, give me one more attack. You're going to be at a -6 for this for the distance as he's sprinting away towards this button.
Come on, Asander. Come on.
Oh!
15.
That would be a 16
Yep.
versus KAC. You nail him.
Yes!
Well, all that happens is he has to. Well, he takes 1 point of damage because.
And he's got to make a save to not fall asleep, right?
DC 18. Yeah.
Well, that was an 8. But let me.
Oops, that was the Viagra needle.
He does not have a. He
one.
does not have a +3.
He goes into a frenzy.
And you see him kind of, and he slumps down.
Then I
However,
run onto the ship.
all of the alarms are going off, and as you guys are running to get over to the comms and checking the system to see what they've disabled and what they've kept available for you guys, we've got to get out of here. You begin to hear the and the bubble, the dome that was over the top of the ship begins to close down over the top of you.
Uh-oh.
And that is where we are going to end our session
Shoot.
for the evening.
Oh, shoot. We'll get out of this one.
Thank you guys for joining us for Sarah Dice. This is a fun show. This is a fun show. Jacob, I hope you had as much heartburn as I had all fucking week.
No.
Never thought about it again. Man, Guy, you could have fixed all of our problems and just used that needle at the end of last session.
Shot Jett in the back.
Jett, no, shut up.
I was trying to shoot him.
Does it smell like chloroform?
And by the time it was too late, he'd already shot and fired and mutilated. And
I tried to give up.
Thank you guys for joining us. So we want to give a huge pitch over to pitch you guys on After Dark. So After Dark is our Patreon only podcast. It's $3. We're starting our new season of Jade Colossus. If you jump in as a Patreon, you get the entire back catalog. And so we have the regular After Dark show over there. We are let's just be candid with you guys. It's a different type of show than what we really put on here on Wednesdays. And while we might get a little loose here, it's not even close to what the After Dark is. So if you guys want to check that out, it's $3. You can jump in, grab the podcast. $5, jump in, grab an hour of us every week being raunchy as hell. So go check that out. And we want to give a huge thank you to our amazing sponsors, Fantasy Grounds Unity down below. Oh, somebody's leaving us some beautiful, wonderful things. So we appreciate the love there. Where did that Mario Sack? Oh my gosh, Mario Sack for $20, my man. Thank you. We really appreciate the love. We appreciate the love. So guys, go check out Fantasy Grounds Unity. This thing is going to be massive. It's going to have all kinds of crazy dynamic lighting and weather effects, and it's going to take all of the amazing Fantasy Grounds engine and move it to the Unity engine. It's going to be totally game-changing. At least go check out the videos. You guys can find links to that down below, down here in this box, or down on our YouTube video. And of course, if you want to paint dungeons in a studio, check out Dungeon Painter Studio, which is available on Steam, and it's how we make all of the maps here on the show that you guys have seen since day one. So if you guys dig these maps and you want to make your own custom maps, you can make sci-fi maps, fantasy maps for your Dungeons & Dragons game, whatever you want. This thing is awesome. And yeah, go check it out. And that'll be a good way to support the show by supporting one of our sponsors and letting let our sponsor know that we sent you over. I'm just saying that'll help us. I'm just saying. We love you. We will see you next Wednesday, unless you are a patron, in which case we will see you on Monday. We'll catch you guys later.